Hi everybody and welcome to DR Boxing. We are live in the house, the big night, big fight special. It's an amazing night to be here and well, it's actually early hours of the morning. But before we go any further, let me introduce my guest. Firstly, to my left, Nick Francis, aka the Voice of Reason's in the house. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Oh yeah.
And to my right, we have James Toon in the house.
What's going on, boys? I'm actually pumped for this one. This is the most excited I've been on this show since I can remember.
You know what? I would, for once, I agree.
Yeah, I haven't even had that much sleep, but I'm just bouncing off the walls.
I haven't slept yet.
Yeah, I tried to have a nap. I ended up getting like 5 minutes, if that.
I had a little nap, but I couldn't sleep, man, because I'm just so excited to be here. This, for me, I've said it several times before on previous shows. For me, this fight is not just the biggest fight of the year. It's the biggest fight since Mayweather-Pacquiao in 2015. In fact, I'm going to go out on the limb and say, to me, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is a bigger fight than Manny Pacquiao. Not in terms of generating revenue and, you know what I mean, and pay-per-view sales and stuff. I'm just talking about the fight itself.
You're talking about because of the time it happened, because it maybe happened too late for Mayweather-Pacquiao? Is that something to do with it?
Yeah, and
they're both undefeated, right? So this is probably the biggest fight that we've seen of two undefeated fighters.
That's right.
Sean Porter, who's a world-class fighter in their weight class, said that it's the biggest fight of the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I was going to go on to say that, because obviously I'm a bit older than you guys. You guys may have gathered that by now. For me, this is the biggest fight at welterweight, and certainly since Leonard and Hearns, and that was back in the early 80s, 81 and 82, them times. Some people have said that Canelo, Golovkin was bigger. Yeah, I guess you could make a case for it, but not for me, man. These two.
Be interesting to see what numbers this does, because that was like 1.2 million.
But I don't really go on numbers, bro. I don't really. No.
I'm just saying it will be interesting to see.
Real boxing fans will know what I'm talking about.
Do you see how he tries to get these slide digs in?
No, it's not a dig on you.
UFC fans, real boxing fans, these bloody casuals.
No, let me explain. I'm not having a dig at you, and I'm not having a dig at modern fans as such, but kind of hardcore boxing fans will know what I'm talking about. This is what they call a trade fight that's transcended. Yeah. So this fight, like, it's got everything on the line, man. You know what I mean? 2 unbeaten fighters, 2 guys, maybe not in their prime, but they're not out of their primes. You know what I mean?
They're competitively close.
Yeah, and it's very close. And you know what I mean? The characters involved. It's just an amazing fight. And I'm kind of honored to be here in the studio presenting this. So listen, thanks everybody out there for watching, really appreciate it, and we're hoping it's going to be, the fight itself will live up to the billing. While we're waiting for the big fight, we're watching the chief support, which is Pitbull Cruz. You may have heard of him, a lightweight, very good fighter, good record, unbeaten. He's fighting a guy called Giovanni Cabrera.
What did you call him off air?
Well, he looks like he looks too good looking to be a boxer, man. He looks more like an Instagram model. But,
I tell you, he does really remind me looks-wise of Ryan Garcia a bit.
Yeah, but I think, to be fair, Ryan Garcia is a bit more polished than Cabrera.
Oh, as a boxer?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Ryan Garcia is one of the best in the business. Finally, you're seeing where I'm coming with it. But
well, he'll look better now he's with Derek James. Ryan Garcia will be in the house tonight, I'm sure.
I'm not sure about
you'll be
this
happy about that.
Oh, yeah, and as was Manny Pacquiao. I would dispute that this is bigger than Pacquiao-Mayweather just because of how long that rumbled on for. And obviously with Mayweather being the biggest star in the sport for probably over a decade and arguably the best of all time, I think that does just slightly eclipse it.
The reason I'd say this is a bigger fight than Mayweather-Pacquiao is because everybody knew that Mayweather was going to win that fight. You can make the argument if you
Easy to say with hindsight, though, isn't it?
I don't know a single person in my phone book that thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to. Maybe it's just my phone book, but I don't know anybody that thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to win that fight.
Because don't forget, he was coming off the knockout loss.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So you can make the argument that fight was slightly too late.
If it happened before the knockout, then different story. Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm one of those. I was chatting to a couple of people about this the other day. I think the main interest in that fight was because Pacquiao was seen at the time as the only one that might be able to beat Mayweather because of the punching power and some of the other attributes that he brought to the table. But as Nick said, if you really studied your boxing, you knew that deep down there was no way Pacquiao's on the same level as
he had a
Mayweather.
Puncher's chance, but people
but
were
this
people
fight is a genuine 50-50.
Lots of people whose boxing opinions I respect have swayed back and forth on who they think is going to win this fight. So obviously I've been very vocal about who I think is going to win this fight, but yeah. And of course we are one person light on the show today.
If
and,
anyone,
and Shane is actually
He's out there.
actually out there in Vegas living the dream, sending us pictures.
see if we can see if we can see him in there. If anyone watching the stream does actually see him in the background, make sure to send the picture in. You got our Twitters, you got our Instagrams. I want to see it.
Shane is not going to be close enough to the ring for us to see.
I don't know, man. That could be his jag out there. That could be Shane's jag.
Definitely not.
No, in Shane now, he might snuck in somewhere. Because did he? I was chatting to him today, and he put it in our group, our WhatsApp group. Did he tell you about the weigh-in story?
No. What happened?
So
he said he's got some stories. But
About
so the
Charlie's
weigh-in-
wife.
No, not about that. So the weigh-in was quite instrumental because Crawford actually missed the weight, but the weigh-in that we saw, they borrowed this now from the UFC, where they have what they call ceremonial weigh-ins. Yeah. So the weigh-in for the fight actually took place earlier that day. Crawford apparently missed the weight. Mm-hmm. Some people say he missed it twice, but he definitely missed the first weigh-in. He came in over the limit. And Shane knows that for sure because he was actually outside the door when this was going on. They left the door ajar. So he was able to confirm that because there was rumours coming out afterwards that Crawford had missed the weight, which is interesting because a lot of people were speculating that it would be Spence that would have trouble making the weight. And I must admit, in the days leading up to the fight, when you saw the press conference and stuff, I did notice that Crawford did look a bit drained. But anyway, he's made the weight, and you would have seen the weigh-in. He looked very good on the scales, as did Spence. So, and obviously they got 24 hours to rehydrate. So, looking forward to it, man.
It's another factor with the age, though, isn't it? 35 years of age, you're going to find it a lot harder to cut down.
Yeah,
weight.
exactly. And he has been coming up in weight. I mean, he started off his career, Terence Crawford, as a lightweight. Won the lightweight title in this country, actually, from Ricky Burns. Stepped up to light welterweight, cleaned out that division, became undisputed, stepped up to welterweight. And he's been on a tear ever since. Yeah. He won the title from Jeff Horn, who himself was coming off a good win over Manny Pacquiao. Stopped Jeff Horn, and he's won all of his 7 title defences by stoppage. So yeah, man, coming into this fight with great form, as is Errol Spence. Errol Spence's last fight, you may have seen it, a really good win against your Dennis Ugas, who incidentally was also coming off a win against Manny Pacquiao. So yeah, looking forward to this, man. And in the ring at the moment, Pitbull Cruz. Cabrera's doing okay. I don't think he's winning rounds, but he's managing to stay away from the big left hook of Isaac Cruz, or Isaac Cruz as he's known. But he's got his hands down really low. I'm a bit worried about it. He just got caught by overhand left.
He's been caught a few times. His left
Those hands are
eye is-
ridiculously low, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Especially when you're fighting a guy that likes to come in under and throw big hooks.
Cruz
That's
is
okay
looking
if
a
you're
bit tired,
quick,
though.
but he doesn't look that
He doesn't
quick.
look particularly quick. No, you're right.
That's true.
He does look like a kind of light version of Ryan Garcia without the power.
Yeah.
But Ryan Garcia has quick hands.
Yeah,
so
those.
he can
I
get
don't know
away.
what those slap punches he's throwing are. They did.
They're the Joe Calzaghes. They're called.
No, listen, do not compare that guy with Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe is one of the all-time greats.
It looks
Possibly, I would say he's the second best fighter this country's ever produced, in my view,
After who?
after Lennox.
Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah. Doesn't really count, mate.
Lennox was born here, man.
Over Amir Khan.
Oh, come on.
This guy.
Amir Khan might be in the bottom 3 pros ever produced. Mikey B in the chat. Shout out Mikey B 400. Always here, always locked in when we're covering boxing. He said, "Is there a prize for Where's Wally?" I mean Shane. Is there a prize? We'll think of some type of
Personally,
prize.
I wouldn't have that if I was Shane. Disrespectful.
And Kane said,
Shane does take himself very seriously. He wouldn't like that. if he was here, I wouldn't read that
He
out.
does take himself very seriously for a man who's never been in a boxing ring. You know what I mean?
He doesn't like when you tell him that either.
Kane in the chat said he's heard a rumor that Laurie was secretly enjoying the UFC before the stream started.
That's true.
Listen, we were talking about UFC before we came on here. I'm a fan of UFC. I do like it, but I'm sorry, it's not in the same ballpark as boxing. I know some people ain't gonna like that. Probably gonna come
Different.
after me in
It's
the
different
comments,
sport.
But that's my opinion.
What I will
I
say,
respect it, but to me, boxing is the
out of
premier
everyone
combat
here,
sport.
well, out of everyone here, I think I'm probably the biggest UFC fan. You guys always make jokes, MMA guy this, MMA guy that. But I think it's the first time in a long time that a boxing card has gone up against a stacked UFC event, and you've seen there is no comparison. And it's a big fight tonight. It is the BMF belt, Gaethje fighting on there.
He's a big. Talking to Gaethje, he's a big striker, isn't he?
He's a massive striker, and he's going up against Dustin Poirier, who famously just beat McGregor. But compared to Spence versus Crawford, I think you're seeing.
Beatable, though, isn't
it? Well, I don't know about that. But, you know, it's a bit unlucky. He broke his leg. It was a doctor stoppage. Without the doctor stoppage, it would be a different story. But
when's Conor McGregor's last Cowboy Cerrone, isn't it?
That was his last win. And then he lost twice to Poirier. It was 3-4 years ago. But he's had injuries. He broke his leg. There's been reasons.
He's done, man.
What I was saying is this is the first time in a long time there is no contest. The boxing event they've put on with Spence Crawford, even though that is a big card, the UFC one, today I think all eyes will be on the boxing world.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's about time we start getting these big, huge fights that we need to be made. And it could be a big month coming up for boxing. We've got Anthony Joshua coming up soon. We've got Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. And it's a big month for boxing all around.
You were going well there until you said that.
The question
Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul.
Does the winner of this automatically, if it's a comprehensive victory, go to pound for pound number one?
Actually, now you've raised that, I was going to raise that myself. But yeah, let's talk about that. So obviously during the week we saw the Inoue-Fulton fight, and shout out to Naya Inoue, put out an outstanding performance. A lot of people, prematurely in my view, have been anointing him pound for pound number one off the back of that, albeit excellent win against Stephen Fulton, where, let's face it, he dominated from start to finish. He basically beat Fulton up and then knocked him out, which is what great champions do. Unbeaten, he's now a 4-weight champion in Inoue, dominating those lighter weights. And listen, man, this guy is a generational talent, great fighter. Mm-hmm. However, I look at the resume, and as good as he's been, as great as he's been, the resume in terms of the fighters he's beaten are not stellar, apart from Fulton and what was then a 38-year-old Nonito Donaire. Mm-hmm. So I say that to say this. Terence Crawford, who I'd have either 1 or 2 before Inoue fought the other day, if he beats Spence today, especially if he beats Spence in resounding fashion, then I've got to go with Crawford, because he would be a 3-weight world champion. Well, he's a 3-weight world champion now. But he would have cleaned out 2 weight classes. Mm-hmm. Light welterweight and welterweight. And that's never been done before.
And if Errol Spence wins, does he go for
No, let me finish with Crawford. So if Crawford was to resoundingly beat Errol Spence tonight, conclusively, yeah. Maybe even if he beats Spence,
decision win.
To me, his resume is more stacked than Inoue, so I would have to make him my pound for pound number one. But I would also say that pound for pound list, and this is why a lot of the time I don't like getting too involved in the argument, because it's so subjective, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would have Crawford above him, especially if Crawford wins tonight. And if Spence beats Crawford, then I've got to say, listen, man, he beat the previous incumbent of the pound for pound number 1 or 2. So yeah, listen, Inoue's in the discussion. But for me, I can't place him number 1 yet. No. So that's my view.
I've already said, for me, Alexander Usyk is too far ahead. My main reason that I've said before is predominantly based on weight. I think the disparity between his weight, his size, his reach, and the people that he's going up against at heavyweight is so huge that his skills and his boxing IQ have to be that much higher just to allow him to survive and compete against people like Anthony Joshua, who are worlds apart bigger than him, as opposed to when you see Crawford or Inoue jump up in weight classes. Yeah, there may be a 2 to 3 inch reach advantage, but they're still weighing in at the same level. So it's a bit more of an even comparison at that point. That's why I put Usyk there. Not to mention the sheer domination of what he did in the cruiserweight division. Not to mention the way that he dispatched of Anthony Joshua, who everyone wants to laugh at and say, well, he wasn't undisputed number 1 in the division. He was still a force to be reckoned with. He was still a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world who had beat an absolute list of killers in front of him. One of the greatest heavyweights of this era, for sure. So I don't think you can smirk at or shirk at what Usyk did. And no, even if Crawford was to win tonight, I still couldn't in my head put him above Usyk, but I think it'd be very close.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're a little bit dismissive of Inoue's record. You have to beat whoever's in front of you, and I think that we're not. The knockout power this guy has, 88% knockout is insane.
I think that argument about Shane was using this today about you can only beat what's in front of you. I think you can only take that so far, bro.
I agree,
it's not his fault.
He's still beating world champions.
It's not his fault. Okay, you can say that. But at the end of the day, he's still not got the names that Spence and Crawford have got. So
yeah, but when you say names, you have to define big names, because Spence and Crawford have beat people
but you cannot
bigger names that are past the hill. I'm not saying that their resumes are bad. Their resumes are very good.
Like Jason Maloney and Carlos Payano and Paul Butler is on the same level as what Spence and Crawford have done. No way. Yes,
25 fights, 25 wins, 22 KOs, 15 title defenses, clearing out 2 divisions. It's very impressive.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. And,
I'm not arguing with that.
And he's been in the game 10 years as a pro, not even in boxing, as a pro. He's been, dominating for 10 years. I think he's got to be in that conversation at the very least.
I said he's in the conversation, but I'm saying it's. I wouldn't have him as my number one. But then I also said, and I maintain that this is why a lot of the times I've been in WhatsApp groups and it just gets dominated by pound for pound number ones, and after a while I just get so tired of it because it's so subjective and it doesn't, let's face it, doesn't really mean that much, does it?
Yeah.
It's a mythical thing.
Yeah, of course.
It kind of does. It kind of does. It's not, it doesn't mean as much as being champion perhaps, or cleaning out the weight classes you can fight in, but it does kind of give an even playing field, and it was basically, say, if we were all on the same level and it was based just on skills, who would you put there? And it does kind of mean something. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because the minute you put forward an argument, somebody will put forward something else. And
I think it's predominantly for the people of the lower weight classes, because naturally heavyweights, cruiserweights, and the heavier you get, the bigger you get, the more eyeballs and viewership you're going to get. So I think it's just to give respect to the work of people like Inoue and these smaller, lighter fighters, to kind of give them a bit of credit and a bit of respect. Yeah. I don't think it means as much to the people.
Well, yeah, and that's why, like I said, I don't trip over that, man, because to me, it doesn't really mean that much. It's a good argument to have. You know what I mean, when you got your friends around and you're down the pub or whatever. Or Pitbull Cruz,
because I guess it would go to the argument, can you say Floyd Mayweather's the best boxer of all time if he stepped in a ring with Mike Tyson, he'd get cleaned out within a round? So you would say he's pound for pound best.
Yeah, I think this fight, Cabrera's going to sleep very soon.
That lack of defense. There's a headbutt going in there.
Hang on a second.
That should be a point taken.
Mate, it should be an instant DQ. You can't headbutt someone.
Not an instant DQ. But
yeah, damn right, an instant DQ.
No. I think it's a warning. But no, that's really disappointing from Cruz, because he's dominating the fight and doesn't need to do that.
I'll tell you what, that was disappointing. It was the ref, because he just sort of said, don't do that again. He should have had a point taken out. That was a deliberate headbutt.
He should have been disqualified. You can't deliberately headbutt someone. This is a boxing fight, you know? Even in MMA, you get a DQ for that. The ref's gone over to have a
conversation there. That's really poor. Also, shout out my boy X in the chat, showing me some abuse. Any more of that abuse, and I'll have you banned from the chat, X, bruv.
Brilliant uppercut from Cruz there.
Expression's trying to abuse man in the chat, you know.
Oh, he's in the chat. Big up Expressions.
So give him a rock bottom. Send him down.
Yeah, I ain't doing nothing
to the slump.
Man's bottom. I don't know about all that.
Shut up, man. Why'd you have to twist my words, huh?
Yeah, Cabrera's in. I was gonna say he's in survival mode, but he's not even. He's not surviving. He's beyond survival
barely
mode.
Surviving.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I must admit, as soon as I saw...
He's done it 3 times! He did it 3 times there, man.
I thought it was one headbutt.
The first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
No, that is terrible from the... He didn't even take a point for it.
He should be taking it. I think... Do you know what it is? I think because he's a big name and the ref knows he's going to win. It's that. But he's also trying to, like...
It's that.
He's trying to minimize it. So when this guy gets knocked out, and it'll probably be this round that he gets knocked out by Cruz, no one's going to talk about that, because...
I'm
sorry, that wasn't. You can't even say it's accidental. He did it once, missed. Did it twice, missed, and then the third time leapt off the floor to hit him with the headbutt.
And as Nick said, what is he doing? I mean, he's winning the fight easily. That's frustration.
I kind of hope he gets slumped after pulling a move like that.
Yeah, I hope.
Not that I hope ill on any man, but I'm
you can
hope
as much as you want,
man. But I don't know, mate. Cabrera's coming back. He might have awoken the beast.
If you think he's awoken the beast, that tells you everything.
Look how low his hands are. I mean, Freddie Roach.
The Mexican Mexican Calzaghe, did you say?
If Shane was here, he'd be going mad at the lack of defensive skills.
Oh, look at the hand speed from Cabrera there. Look at that.
He'd
He's
be putting
reading
out
him well.
Freddie Roach's family tree and saying he's actually British from many generations ago.
Oh, he's Irish.
He wouldn't. No, there you go. He wouldn't accept he's an American trainer.
Mate, Cabrera's the real deal.
I've always, and I said it to you off air, that I think Freddie Roach is one of the most overrated trainers in boxing.
Do you know what Cabrera should have done? When he received that headbutt, he should have taken a dive. He should have fallen down and milked it just to get a point taken off at least, and then made a big hullabaloo because he's definitely going to get starched. Although
he's tough though.
No, mate. Cabrera's
coming
coming into it. Cabrera's
back
dominating this fight, I'd say.
He's taking his licks like a
Mikey
man.
said Cruz looks very limited.
He is.
I don't know. He's got. Oh, that's a great left hook.
Yeah,
there.
but he missed. Swing and
No,
a
he
miss.
didn't.
No, he caught him. He definitely caught him.
No, he didn't, mate.
He caught him with that
I
left
think
hook,
you're
100%.
drinking too
Are
many
you kidding me,
of
mate? This guy couldn't catch a disease in the sewers, let alone catch
Oh,
Cabrera.
the Gales
He's
cut.
got him
Did he
there.
miss that one as well? Did he miss that one as well? Is he missing all these?
Fair play to Cabrera. He's a tough kid.
He is.
Is he
Ooh.
tough, or how much is Cruz's power not
Nah,
really
man, you get
translating?
caught like that, man.
That's what I'm
Clean
saying.
like that.
Cruz has
You've
got to
gotta
be
be tough to
Cruz
take
got to be
that,
dropping him. He's not dropped him so far in this fight, and he really should have for the amount of punches he's
I
landed.
think that's because Cabrera's got a good chin and he's tough.
Cabrera.
And he's fighting back as well. Enough respect to
This
him.
is turning into a decent fight.
He's having his moments, but he's not really doing any damage to
Right now,
Cruz.
he's kind of. I think he's biding his time. Once it gets to 10th,
He's too
11th
easy
round,
to
different
hit.
story.
At the end of the day, the guy is way taller than Cruz, but he's got his hands round
Got
by
the
his
Joe
waist.
Joyce defense.
Cruz
And
ain't
not only
doing
that,
nothing
not only
to
has he
him.
got his hands down by his waist, he's standing straight up. He's got no head movement, which makes it even worse.
Well,
defending
as
with his
we've
face.
seen, Cruz definitely has good head movement.
I mean,
Specifically
Shane was
directed
there,
towards
he
Cabrera's
does- I
head.
can imagine Shane. He's in there tonight. He's probably telling everybody 10 rows behind him how bad Cabrera's defense is.
The thing with Shane is that he won't care as well. He'll be telling trainers that they're trash and all that. He won't business.
That's not how we do it over in Philly. Yeah, we teach you proper defense.
For anybody asking how long until the main event, we are in
should be
round
after this fight.
6 in the fight before the main event, and then we'll, so it depends how
Otherwise
long
known
this fight takes.
as
and then
the co-main event.
We'll get round to it. Is this a co-main event? This can't
It's
be.
not co-main.
No, I don't know why I said co-main.
You think this is
Not
UFC,
co-main.
bro?
There's only one.
Penultimate.
There's only one main event tonight, mate.
You think this could be co-main event for Spence?
It does
and
raise a bit of
Crawford?
a question in the sport of boxing that this is the next fight behind Spence Crawford. Surely you'd have expected them to put something slightly bigger on than this, but
It's a budget,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
even though it is turning into an entertaining fight, but you're talking about one of the biggest fights.
But
of the past
there is
decade.
from a business perspective, there's an argument of when you have such a big fight and
Yeah,
such a great fight, do you need to hype up
That's
the
what-
No,
card?
I know.
promoters
As a
do.
fan, I would like to see it,
Of course,
just
yeah.
for the event. But obviously, the way boxing works, it's a going out of sale business. You know.
Avon Barksdale says Laurie is cool with a K, but these two are neeks, bruv.
I mean, you're not
What's that
wrong.
mean?
Avon Barksdale, man, like
You're
the
not
video,
wrong.
like and share, man, like and share.
We
the
are
video.
neeks.
What does that mean?
It
dunno,
means
man.
we're really cool people, is what it
It
means.
just means you're younger, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's like you're a nerd, kind of.
By the way, shout out to Andreas, man, our technical team behind
Oh,
the
yeah, of
scenes.
course.
He's doing a great job. He's been up since this morning, and he's still here now, man. Look, 3:36, and he's doing a great job behind the scenes. Shout
Yes,
out to
mate.
Andreas. He's a big boxing fan as well, and I know he's a big big fan of both guys. I didn't ask him who he thinks is going to win. Oh, he's got
Crawford.
Crawford, right? Okay.
We're here from the
Most
back.
people have got Crawford.
Yeah.
I heard
I
you
did
were
come
getting
across-
getting called out for going back and forth, weren't you, Laurie?
I was, yeah, but
Is
that's
it-
an indication of how
How much of a fence sitter you are.
close this
Of
fight
how
is to me,
your
man.
opinion swings with the wind.
No, because when I've seen like Spence, how he looks on the scales, his body language, I'm sort of seeing.
He didn't even want to commit to the pound for pound
Yeah.
list until he said, let me see this fight first, and then I don't know.
No, but I don't see how anybody can seriously. If you're a boxing fan, how can you say Inoue is number one, and this fight's not taking place yet? At least let this fight happen.
Oh, I didn't say no.
Not you. I'm just saying, like when people were in that rush to judgment to proclaim Inoue number one, I'm saying, bro.
Here's Shane's seats, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I'm saying at least let this fight happen, then we can have a more measured debate, if you see what I mean. Because boxing fans can be like that at times, a bit knee-jerk.
So do you? Obviously, I spoke about Usyk. Do you not see him in that conversation, or do you think he's comfortably third for you?
So what?
Would you put Usyk third then? You think it's between Inoue, Crawford, and Spence?
I would have had Crawford or Usyk.
As number
1A or 1B.
So you'd
or
have
whatever.
Usyk above Inoue?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mikey B 400, shout out Mikey, said, question, is Laurie supporting the black fighter tonight? Only joking, obviously.
Listen, let me just because I often get people. Listen, I don't mind, man. You can throw it at me. I'm going to say this now, and some people might
Yes.
get offended by what I say. Listen, as you can see, I'm a black man. I'm a proud black man. I like to see people that look like me do well. There's nothing wrong with that, right? James here, he's got Armenian roots. If there was an Armenian fighter fighting tonight, I'm pretty sure he would want the guy to do well or even win or whatever. That's up to him, but that's just the way. So me wanting black fighters to do well, to me, there's nothing wrong with that. If that offends some people, fair enough, but I'm not going to change my stance. That being said,
Great counter left.
That being said, I like boxing, so there's loads of fighters that I like are not black, and believe it or not, there are a lot of fighters that are black that I don't like. So
Like
I hope
Israel
I've
Adesanya for
explained
some
that.
reason.
Sorry?
Like Israel Adesanya for some reason.
Israel Adesanya, Jamal Charlo, you know what I mean? There are lots of black folk, Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson. They're
You
guys
don't like
who
Shakur Stevenson?
I like him as a fighter, but as the way he conducts himself outside the ring, no, I'm not a big fan of his.
Floyd Mayweather?
Even Floyd, I'm not a fan of his at all outside the ring. Inside the ring, the greatest fighter of this generation.
Of
But
all time?
I've got to be honest, outside the ring, a proper plonker. You know what I mean?
He's-
But
yeah,
so I hope I've explained that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm one of those guys, I'm willing to admit it. You get some guys who and listen, I'm not going to name names. They are a bit reticent because they think that it's going to offend people, or they need to portray this image where I can't be seen to be rooting for certain people because it might upset anyone. Well, listen, I'm not like that, bro. I like to think that I'm a man of my convictions. Like, there's nothing wrong in wanting people that look like yourself to do well. I see when I used to box, I used to have quite a few traveller friends. When I speak to those guys now, they're big Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders fans, and that's fine with me. So you get travellers, they like travellers. You get Irish people like Irish people, Armenians who like Armenians, Jamaicans
people
who like
like
and
English.
even within the black community, you get Jamaica like tonight. So, for example, I know quite a lot of people who have got Jamaican heritage like myself. They're rooting for Spence. So, listen, I hope that's nailed that one. But hey, if you want to throw shade at me for it, fine. But, you know, there you go.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, listen, I've said it before, man. But, you know, some people like to put it on me. But I'm not backing down over that, bro. It is what it is.
It's fair
Like I said, there are lots of fighters that I love watching that are not black.
Yep.
Like Ryan Garcia?
Garcia is trash.
Oh, come on.
I'm even
a
a fan, believe it or not, of Canelo, even though
Oh,
I
are
do
you
give
now?
him
Oh,
grief. Yeah.
changing your tune on that one.
I'm not
huh?
changing my tune.
As we get some half-time beverages coming in
I'm
here.
not changing my tune. I think it's
Little coffee
important
top
though, to call him out for when he.
No, that's
dug
what
it.
you should call people out when
Yeah.
they do bad things, but I don't think that he's really.
People think that I hate Canelo. I don't. I just love boxing more than I love Canelo. So if
Yeah.
I think he's taking a piss or taking a mick, shall we say, then I think I'm entitled to call him out over it. It's just my opinion at the end of the day.
Just
But
one
anyway,
man's
we're
opinion,
in the
one man's
8th round, and it's
Someone said Cruz looks like an angry little kid on the playground. He definitely does. It doesn't help that he's short and he's like looking down
Whoa.
and staring up. But yeah, this
Hang on,
Cabrera's
hang
got
on.
an absolute chin and a half, and he does actually have 7 knockouts on his record somehow.
he's not a big puncher though, because you can see he doesn't even
It's,
turn his hand over.
It just doesn't look like.
It's funny that he's got Trent Alexander-Arnold on his shorts because he's got quite a whip with that right hand. Am I right?
Andrew Green says, Laurie, did you get knocked out when you boxed? No, but I did get floored. And I did get floored heavily once in sparring.
But I apologise
By me.
to you afterwards.
You
You
stole.
both made the same joke.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yours
Too many
were-
witty people
No,
on
yours was better than mine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yours was more
We're
crafty
both
than that
neeks.
one.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
But I have to say that my boxing career was a long, long time ago. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, you know what I mean? Like,
What, like some people that come on this show that have never been in a boxing ring? Not naming
who would
any
that
names.
be? You're talking about yourself?
No. Well, I've been in a cage, not in a boxing
And
ring.
that's how many. Did I have any losses? Yes, I did. But I had a lot more wins than I had losses. But listen, again, I don't want to blow smoke up my own backside.
Yeah. I
But,
actually won quite a few five-a-side games in my garden, so I'm basically Lionel Messi. You know what I mean?
Young T says, when it's your brother's station, you can say what you like. Right, bro, if you knew me, you know that's what I'm like, full stop. So, but hey.
Now,
Listen, I
will
make
say
no
he's
apologies for my stance on that, bro. Like I said, if it offends some people, then fair enough. Some people will come on here and cap. I'm not about that life. I like to...
No, I will
say
say
what it
you
is.
are exactly the same off camera
Thank you
as
very
on
much.
camera.
Yeah, thank you.
100%.
Appreciate that.
No, it's true. And it takes a lot of courage. It's very easy to sit behind the screen sometimes and criticize people coming on here and saying things. It's not easy
But the
to
thing
put yourself
about,
out there and
listen,
get slated
boxing,
for your
that's
opinions.
part of the fun in boxing, though. It's quite a tribal sort of sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
People align behind certain nationalities and races and cultures. As long as it's kept respectful, it's okay.
Well, yeah, or just behind fighters that they like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, so for example,
But like, for whatever reason, you might like that fighter.
Yeah.
Pitbull's really pouring it on here. He's trying to get
I
this
like
guy out.
Cabrera because he's one of the most skillful fighters I've ever seen in my life. So, you know.
I can see you squinting and pretending he's Ryan Garcia. That's what it is.
No, you're chalk and cheese with Ryan Garcia, mate. Ryan Garcia would have cleaned him out. Oh, my days. This is
No, do you know what's funny? Like, he's been getting battered all fight, and he's never really looked close to getting knocked out. He's looked rocked because he's very standing very
getting rocked
square.
though in every round.
He
He's
got
standing very-
headbutted and he was chilling.
He's standing very square, so he does rock back. He's quite a tall fighter.
Did he get headbutted
but
again?
Look.
He got headbutted again, man.
That's crazy.
What?
The referee's still not done nothing about it. Oh,
Hang on.
surely he's going to take a point.
And he had a
He
talkie
didn't.
too.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
And
This
again-
referee, honestly.
And again, out of front-
hang on.
out of
This
frustration.
referee is a disgrace. Bro, come on now. Seriously, that referee is an absolute disgrace. How can you stand there?
Cabrera may. Do you know what it is? If he carries on doing it and the ref keeps taking points off, Cabrera could win off of a DQ or something like that, or a no contact. It's ridiculous.
But he's not even taking points off.
No, but that's it. He's not.
Oh, yeah, just give him a little thumbs up. Yeah, that's going to
he's had
do
a
the
little,
job,
"Oh,
isn't it,
please
mate?
don't do that again. No, referee, come
Mate, that's
on.
it. On one of the biggest cards of the year, of the past 5 years, you're going to have something like this going on in the second from last
That
fight.
is, I know that Pitbull Cruz is the so-called house fighter, but come on, man, that is disgusting by the ref.
Yeah, that's
You
really
literally stood there and watching him headbutt him in succession.
The thing is
Yeah.
for the ref as well, like, this guy's winning the fight. You could take a point off or even two, look tough and take your stance, and he's still going to win anyway. So
No,
it's
but
not
you know what it is? I reckon he's worried about because if you take 1 point, then you have to take another. The next
Yeah.
time you're going to have to throw him out. He clearly doesn't.
But
want
you
to
should
throw
be
Cruz
thrown out. I think you should be thrown out after the first one if you throw
He
an
did get deducted
intentional
1
headbutt.
point. Coyote, thanks for letting us know. He did. We were obviously talking. He did get deducted 1 point.
Bad time, mate. Should
But,
have been
you know.
deducted the
But
whole
it
fight.
was so blatant, though, wasn't it? And he's gone in with the elbow there as well. Did you see that
thinks
elbow
he
there?
thinks he's KSI, this guy, man. Not as skillful as
Referee,
KSI, might I
he's
add.
warned Cabrera about something there.
Yeah, Cabrera's been pulling the head down all fight, but I think he's trying to overwarn Cabrera so that when he warns Cruz, it balances out a little bit. It's poor refereeing for sure, but there's only one way
Like
that
Adam.
this fight's going anyway. So,
Yeah,
but
and
I think
that's an
you can
easy
see Cruz's
Cabrera win.
frustration. He's landing his best shots on this guy, and this guy doesn't look even close to getting knocked out.
No, he looks
I
chilled
don't
in
know.
there.
I would say he's come close, but
Nah, he's been rocked, but I don't think he looks close to knocking him out.
I think he looks all right. You could
Yeah, I think
say
he looks okay.
you could say he's in cruise control, if you will.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to.
I'm not sure if he's looking all right, man. I think he looks.
No, he doesn't look all right. He's losing and he's going to lose, but he doesn't look like he's going to get knocked out.
I can't get over.
I
the
think
fact
Fulton looked worse looked in more damaged against Inoue on Tuesday. You could say, oh, this looks like it's going to end in a knockout.
Well, he was on his face by this point in the fight.
It's true. Yeah, he didn't make it this far.
Yeah.
But you see, this is it. You see, Inoue is levels above Cruz in terms of his ability.
Yeah.
And
Blood
Cabrera is
streaming
levels
from the
above
nose.
Inoue.
Blood streaming from the nose.
Andrew
of Cabrera.
Green says James has some dead puns. A couple of laughing emojis.
It's all right. I'll revive him in the cemetery. You know.
He got caught again there. He's been open to that left hook over the top all night long, and he's southpaw going to.
I know that James would say, as Shane would say, that Freddie Roach doesn't train any defense and stuff, but this doesn't even look like a Freddie Roach is good at the fundamentals of boxing. I think he's a good trainer for some of the basics.
Is he?
Even from an attacking perspective, we're not even seeing...
What fundamentals do you think Carrera's showing there then?
No, that's the point I was trying to make. He doesn't even look like a Freddie Roach trained fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jabbing from the waist.
It looks like he's been too many. It looks like he's been using too many roaches, if you know what I mean.
That was a good jab there, but yeah, not enough.
What I would say about Cabrera is that he's a tough kid. He's athletic. He's got a lot of heart. But in terms of his boxing skill, man, there's not much there. And he's getting, let's face it, he's getting beat up in every round.
Yeah.
He's not won a round, not come close to winning a round.
No.
But he does have a good chin. Like I said, he looks quite an athletic kid, fit, strong, lots of heart.
You can see that frustration.
You reckon they were going to watch Barbie later?
That can only take you so far in this game, man.
I think he might actually knock him out. Cabrera.
Rounds.
I think if you're
Cabrera shock
minutes.
on the cards, 12th round.
I think if you're Cabrera...
22 Chad in the chat said, UK Donnies are different. 4 a.m, we're here. We are here for all the big fights. For all the big fights, anytime we will be here.
Be there or be square.
Will the Spence versus Crawford fight revive boxing? Don Rubinho, love for the comment. Listen, I don't know about revive boxing, man. This year
doesn't need revival.
Well,
this
you
year
think
has
it's
been
beyond revival?
Big.
bit
There are. Do you know what it is? Do you know what? I'll ask you directly, Don Rubinho. Is it because we're not seeing the top heavyweights mix it up that you're asking that question? Because across the other weight divisions, it's been a big year, man. The lightweights are mixing it up. The welterweights are mixing it up. The new generation of welterweights are coming through. The bantamweights, we have a generational talent. Yeah, man. Boxing's in a really healthy place.
I think it is, but there are a few fundamental things that still need to be fixed within the sport, especially within the time of getting them. The fights, yes, but I think also, we were all here for the Inoue fight. We had to watch a full 90 minutes of football between the second fight and the main event.
You're going somewhere.
No, I know.
Else.
I'm just saying.
He said
I know he said
boxing.
revive the sport of boxing, but that goes into it. I'm saying there's fundamental things in the packaging of the programs, in the way they set up some of these events that just need to be cleaned up to fully get it back up there. And to ignore that is disingenuous. I think it's been a great fight. It's been a great year. We've had a lot of good fights, but there are a few things within the groundwork.
No. One second, Laurie. He's directly replied, and he's just disappointed in Tyson Fury.
Yeah, exactly. That was the elephant in the room.
No, of course.
That's what I was waiting for you to nail, but you didn't nail.
That's what it is.
That is the fight that's letting down boxing at the moment. We want an undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Good shot by Cabrera there. He actually put Isaac Cruz back on his heels a little bit.
Well, we've got Anthony Joshua coming up soon. Dillian White.
Cody makes a good point. Tyson revived the heavyweight division and then ruined it again with
he didn't revive it. Anthony Joshua revived the heavyweight division long before Tyson made his comeback trail.
I think that the Ngannou fight, or so-called fight, is it a fight? Oh, good shot by.
Of course, it's a fight. What do you mean?
Andrew Green.
It's a farce.
Andrew Green in the chat.
Oh! Pitbull's really letting him
Andrew Green's obviously a regular viewer of DR Boxing because he said, "We have had some big fights. The only ones that are ducking are the two that James loves to simp for."
What? Ryan Garcia didn't duck nobody. He went straight in there against Tank. Thank you very much. Anthony Joshua ain't ducking.
There was talking of
Tyson
big
Fury
fights. There was another one announced this weekend. When,
it means Canelo.
Well, I'm not sure if the date's been announced, but it's been called anyway. Devin Haney's going to go up in weight to fight Regis Prograis for the
I saw that as well. Yeah,
that's a very good fight actually. A
Is
fight that I can see Devin Haney winning.
I think Devin should win. Yeah. Ducking Shakur Stevenson?
Ducking Shakur?
Nah, not at all.
Ducking Tank?
Food left on the table.
Should he be going for Tank?
Listen, if Devin Haney, we all know he's struggling to make the weight. Apparently he missed weight 4 times in his previous fight against Lomachenko. He needs to move up in weight. He's got a world title opportunity. He's not ducking. Hang on. The fight was on the table for Shakur to take. He didn't want to take 25%. So you can't accuse Devin Haney of ducking him. But I would say that if I was in Devin Haney's team, I would be saying, listen, man, you've done everything you can at lightweight. You're the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. You made a defense against Lomachenko. Move up in weight. You need new challenges.
I think he owes Lomachenko a rematch, personally.
Yeah, well, they can do it at 140.
I don't think that was a conclusive win. He owes Lomachenko a rematch.
He doesn't owe him anything, James.
He does. Because that was a robbery.
Doesn't work like
that was a blatant robbery. I love Devin Haney, but that was a blatant robbery.
On the night, he said, it was a close fight.
It was a close fight, but it was a blatant robbery.
If
it was a close fight that went around to Lomachenko.
In boxing, it can't both be a close fight and a robbery. The only way it's a robbery is if it's
if I go to your store and Nick Alfredo is still a robbery.
If it's conclusively that one person has won, like a Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor, that's a robbery. You can't say it's a close fight. If it's a close fight, it is by definition.
Can I just say as well, the word robbery, seriously, is the most overused word in a boxing lexicon. Nowadays, if a fight is even remotely close, we got robbed. You go, come on, bro. Robbery, I'll tell you what was a robbery. I think was a robbery, see if you agree with me, was the Maxi Hughes-Kambosos fight. I thought Maxi Hughes won that fight by at least 3 rounds. So if you get a fight and you think that a person won by at least 3-4 rounds, to me, that's a robbery. If it's close, like 1 or 2 rounds could have gone either way, that is not a robbery. That is just subjective view.
No, true. But he still got robbed.
We got Stephen Borman in the chat with a super chat. Love for the super chat, brother. Looking to put £500 on Errol Spence. Rate my chances? ? I personally... We'll get into predictions now.
That's a brave bet.
I personally think that Crawford's going to win. I think James thinks Crawford's going to win, and Laurie's not taking a position.
No.
When did I say that? Sorry.
Who do you think is going to win?
Terence Crawford.
This guy's such an idiot. So listen, man, just gamble away. You know them ones there, blood. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, make sure. Yeah.
Gamble
if you're
responsibly.
going to bet, just talk to the big man. All right, guaranteed.
I think £500 on either fight is quite brave.
Yeah, for sure.
I do get the
5,000.
impression though. I'm not a betting man, so I wouldn't know. But I would imagine that Crawford is the betting favourite, isn't he?
I don't know if Crawford would be the favourite.
He should
I don't
be.
know if he would be.
He should be
I
theoretically.
think he's the older and young and smaller fighter, but I'll have a look.
Well, let me check my Instagram poll, actually. Check out in the link in the description. Oh, it's 50-50, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I said before, it's a true, genuine fight.
And
50-50 fight.
I am Shane Willoughby going for Spence.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
spoke
his
to Shane
prediction,
today. Did a stream with him today, and he said that he thinks that
He thinks Jed Spence is going to win.
he thinks that Errol Spence is going to nick it. Pitbull's expended a lot of energy trying to get the guy out of there.
Oh, has he been dropped?
No, he's not.
Oh, mate, that would have fit. That he should have finished
did
him
not
off there.
get dropped.
He should have finished him off while he was on the floor.
He
Hit
did
him
not
with
get
a.
dropped.
Yeah, he did.
He slipped over.
He got floored, just like my Ford
Another
Fiesta
super chat
on the
here
M25.
from Liverpool till I die. He said it's quite casual to call it a robbery. It's a close fight. I had Haney 115, 113. Dev got the best resume on that division by far. He ain't ducking nobody. He definitely ain't ducking nobody.
I'll put it this way: he was pickpocketed. It wasn't a robbery, but he was pickpocketed.
It's none of those. I thought Haney won. Nick thought Haney won. Shane thought Haney.
No,
you were the only one.
You guys said he drew. You never said Haney won.
I had Haney by 3 rounds.
Someone had no. You did not have Haney by
did.
3 rounds.
think
We
he might
will
have had a
roll
draw.
back the stream.
We can-
You definitely. 2 of you had a draw.
I definitely had.
You had 1 round, but ahead to Haney.
It was
you
close,
And, you
but I
and
had
Shane had a
Haney
draw,
winning.
and I had Lomachenko winning it. You and Shane had 6-6. 3 rounds to Haney.
We might have had a
But,
draw.
Lamb
that
chops, mate.
speaks to what we're saying, that it was a close fight. If you say that you fought Lomachenko...
Oh, it was a close fight. It was.
Listen, if
Then
you
it
fought
can't be a
Lomachenko...
robbery.
If you honestly
I
thought...
told you he got pickpocketed. He got pickpocketed.
If you honestly thought that, you're not just playing devil's advocate, then I'll
No.
say fair enough. But I thought Haney won. It was a close fight. A lot of the rounds, swing rounds. But I definitely thought overall Haney won the fight.
It wasn't a conclusive win. You can
wasn't
guarantee
conclusive,
say.
but then-
So he should be. I think he owes him a rematch, and that is a knockdown, is it not?
I'd have liked to have seen a rematch, but it's obvious to me that Devin Haney's struggling to make lightweight.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to give him a rematch. This thing about he owes him, you don't owe him nothing. He owes it to his career to move up in weight, and that's what he's
Okay,
doing.
but does he not owe it to the sport of boxing?
Well,
Same
if-
thing
if
that
it-
you're pulling on Canelo.
If Lomachenko wants a rematch that badly, you know what he should do? Move up to 140. Anyway, moving away from that.
Crawford is narrowly the favourite.
Yeah, that's what I would have
Very
thought.
narrow.
Andrew Green says, Jamaica had a big win at the Women's World Cup today, so I'm going for another Jamaican win for Spence. They did. That was a massive win for Jamaica. Their first win in the Women's World Cup finals ever. I watched a lot of that game. They beat Panama 1-0. Big up to the Reggae girls. Also, the Jamaican netball team today. They're in the...
Women's Netball World Cup, is it?
Yeah. They beat Wales today. So,
Oh, yeah?
It's a good day
In the
for
netball?
Jamaica so far, yeah.
That's mad.
They're a very good team, Jamaica.
So
they're one of the best teams in the world.
All signs are pointing to Spence then for the Jamaican, our production team.
If only it were that simple.
Well, I think that's a good prediction.
But we're into the last round, and fair play to Cabrera. I must admit, when he came out with his hands down by his waist, looking like he did, I didn't think he'd go 12, but it looking like he might do.
Real quick, we just had a super chat here from Omar Boss. Thank you for the super chat. We went around yesterday to quickly grab a video on this. What's your thoughts on Conor Benn cleared?
We are going to do a video.
We're going to be shooting a video after. Yeah,
we're going to do a video on it.
We are doing a video. But I will just say, listen,
Read the chat.
I'm just glad that this saga is coming to an end. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you whether he cheated or not. I think there's been a lot of circumstances surrounding this whole thing that's not been good. I don't think Conor Benn's conducted himself the best. He's saying he's been cleared. UCAD have released a statement today. They're not quite saying that he's been cleared like this. In fact, they're even intimating that they might appeal the decision. But anyway, you know what I'm going to say is, and I never thought I would say this, right? But it's getting to that stage now in boxing where I've lost so much confidence with the way the governing bodies regulate this whole drugs thing. I mean, you spoke earlier about him, the so-called pound-for-pound face of boxing, Canelo. I mean, he's a drugs cheat. Tyson Fury's a drugs cheat. And there's so many in the game now that it's kind of getting to that stage now whereby I'm looking at the way these things are dealt with, and I've just got no confidence in the governing bodies.
We don't see enough punishment. Even when they are found guilty, the risk is no longer worth.
Couple of shots.
It's not worth doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you've got someone like Canelo that was found guilty and then still went on to be the face of boxing for another decade afterwards.
So that's my thought on it, man. Sorry, I can't be more definitive than that, but I just think that the whole thing, man, has just been handled badly. And to be honest with you, I'd like to see Conor Benn get back in the ring, if you ask me. This has dragged on far too long.
Who do you want to see him get in there against? Still want to see the Eubank
30 seconds to go.
Still want to see Eubank, Ben?
Well, I think that Eubank's going to lose his next fight to Liam Smith. I'm a big fan of Liam Smith. I used to be a big fan of Eubank, but latterly, he's not really shown me the hunger that he had when he was younger. He seems to be more interested in money these days and clout. I think I predicted that Liam Smith would beat him the first time, although I didn't predict a stoppage. And Liam Smith won. Look at
yes, go on, Cabrera.
If you guys are wondering
the reason why we're laughing is because the fight just ended and Cabrera, I don't know
he won the fight.
He's shameless.
He's jumping up and down like he won. He really is putting on an act.
That's it. From now on Boxing Talk, every week, we have to have a Shameless of the Week award. That's what we're doing. We're doing a Shameless of the Week award.
I don't know,
and the Shameless of the Week award is going to Cabrera. He's lost every single minute. The only time that he wasn't losing the fight is when he was going to the ref complaining he was getting headbutted. He lost every single moment of that fight that was competitive, and he's throwing his hands up in the air and jumping.
I reckon he's done that because he went to 12. Because there's no way he won.
He's an undefeated fighter. He's got 21
wins. No, but
a
lot of people were predicting that he'd get knocked out, including myself.
I don't care. That's jump in the dressing room. In the ring like that, that's shameless. Shameless of the week, I'm going Cabrera.
That's ridiculous. Who might not have been predicting that and who isn't a big fan of Cruz is we were just speaking about him, Devin Haney, who's just tweeted as of 3 minutes ago, Cruz is ass. Short and sweet, straight to the point.
He's not the most skillful, but he is very effective at what he does.
The thing is, he's meant to be known as one of the more dangerous punchers in the division, and he's just been battering this guy for 12 rounds and wasn't able to actually drop. He didn't drop him, did he, for the whole fight?
No. Couldn't drop a fly with
hence
spray.
His frustration. He can't even put his t-shirt on now. Look at it. It's a shambles. What are we looking at?
I think he should be disqualified for that headbutt anyway. But
I think disqualified for.
No, if you intentionally tried to headbutt someone 4 times, and I think that was a knockdown, then I think that, if you accidentally,
the fighter that's closest got a claim for a knockdown is actually Cabrera. Cabrera's got a shout for a knockdown.
No,
that was a beautiful knockdown, beautiful body shot as he fell.
It wasn't a knockdown.
Oh,
did Pitbull win? So we're just waiting for the decision.
Pitbull won pretty much every round. Cabrera jumping up and down is ridiculous. I think like I said, I think it's because he went the distance.
Still got
a lot of people thinking that he would have got stopped, including myself.
Still looks slick though.
Super chat here from Stephen Borman. He says, "Cheers for tip. Put 50 on Spence. Not quite 500. Too much." You're encouraging man to put bets on me.
How? No, he was going to do 500, and because of our advice, he did 50.
How? No, your advice. I'm not advising anyone
First
to
of
bet,
all,
bro.
if you're a kid, don't gamble under the age of 18. But if you can, gamble responsibly.
Right, we're waiting for the
You want to
decision.
sprinkle a little bit of cash on, do it, but do it smart.
I think I know where this is going. It's got to be Cruz. What? He's put his hand up.
I told you, Cabrera. I told you, man. Cabrera's winning this fight. I don't know what you guys have been watching.
No, we don't know the scorecards. He could be.
I don't know what you're watching. This is the easiest Cabrera win I've ever seen in my life.
A split decision win
What?
for Cruz.
Look at all of Cruz's entourage there, and Cabrera's by himself, poor chap. Go on, Cabrera.
Cruz has won it. I can't understand why that took so long. I can't understand. Somebody put it in the comments. What was the
Split
scorecard?
decision win, mate. Split decision win.
Wow, that is a joke, man. I barely gave Cabrera a round.
Well, to be fair, we were talking in between. But
I gave him like 6 rounds, I'd say.
what rounds? Name them. Name them.
The first, the second, the third.
Maybe the round he got a
9th,
point
10th.
taken off, yeah, but he didn't win that fight, man. No
that's
chance.
shocking. Even he looks unhappy. Yeah, that's shocking.
I think with Isaac Cruz, though, I think he'll
Cheaters
be
never prosper.
with Isaac Cruz. He'll be disappointed because he wants to fight with Tank, doesn't he? That's his holy grail, and he was hoping to put on a statement tonight, and he didn't do that. But he did win, and he won comfortably. Whoever had that split decision, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
He's got the
agrees.
bloody head mark scars on his head.
Behave yourself.
Andres says, I think Cruz got exposed with that fight tonight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quite put it as far as exposed.
He was going up against a world-class fighter.
I'm not so sure about that, bro. World class.
Yeah,
The guy was
world-class.
tough, but he wasn't
Cabrera
world
was.
class. Come on now.
No, I'm
You're
joking.
throwing this thing around like it's confetti.
What about Cabrera?
world class.
Speaking of a world-class fighter,
Ethan's
Tony
right, though.
Ferguson has just tapped out to Green. Robert
He
Green.
needs to retire, man.
Yeah, I think he does.
Sometimes these guys are their own worst enemy.
He is. It's a sad tale. He's one of those guys that the organisation was built off the back of. He would fight anyone, anytime, any place, and it's just so unfortunate for him. The big break twice in his career. He was meant to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. Both fights, Khabib pulled out, and it's just been a sad tale for him that he could never quite reach that pinnacle. But now he's taken so much damage. It's going to take years off your life, unfortunately.
He's already starting to show signs of slippage to me.
Oh, yeah.
When you listen to him talking.
Sometimes he will like flip like this, and he will just start going off on reporters and people in the crowds, and it's quite sad to see.
He
how
needs to be
things happen
rescued
to
from
fighters.
himself.
He
Tony
does.
Ferguson seriously needs to pack it in.
But what a fighter in his day, though. What a fighter.
He was. And I'll tell you another fighter that I think, and I'm sure you're not going to agree with me, is Conor McGregor. I think he's well past his best.
The thing with Conor McGregor is I can't condone a lot of the stuff that he's doing now. I mean, he does look like maybe he has problems potentially with substance abuse. I can't say it. I'm not there. Maybe
To put it mildly.
he likes a few profiteroles, a bit of icing sugar. Who knows what he does in his spare time, but he's had injuries. Obviously, the leg break has been horrible for him, but I'm never going to count him out because of what he's done in his career. And for me, I'm someone, once I'm invested with you, I'm invested all the way.
No, but you see, fans like you,
giving
you're
me-
dangerous because you're encouraging him to carry on when you know he's well past his best.
No, but
you
he's
just
not
spoke a
gonna
minute
hurt
ago about
himself.
Tony Ferguson. To me,
Well,
Conor's
this Chandler fight is
approaching
going to
that
be big for
same
him.
thing.
This Chandler fight is going to be big for him because, by all accounts, he should be beating Michael Chandler.
He won't beat Chandler.
In his best, there is no comparison. Chandler is the perfect style to get killed by McGregor. If McGregor
Watch
doesn't
him
go
beat
in there
McGregor.
and do if he doesn't, then I think at that point McGregor also needs to be saved by himself. But it's never going to happen. He has too many yes men around him. He brings too much money to
people
the
like you.
table. No, I'm not in his camp. I'm not the people
but
that.
If you
that
were in
should
his
be
camp,
with
would
him.
you tell him to stop?
No, you wouldn't.
I would tell him to stop doing some of the things that he's doing. I would try to
Would you
encourage
tell him
him
to
Tell him to
stop
stop
fighting?
fighting.
I wouldn't tell him to stop fighting.
Exactly.
No.
So you're a simp.
Because I think he's someone personally that needs that in his life. I think without fighting, he is someone that could.
No, he don't. He's made
No.
more money than he can spend.
Mentally, he could go off the rails.
Okay, hold on. Well, okay. So at what point then, if he's somebody that mentally needs that in his life, at what point, if you were in his camp, if you were a friend to him, would you say to stop fighting? Because that will never change. He'll need it in his life until he's 100. So at what point would you look at his performances and say, you know what, it's going really downhill. It's getting dangerous. This has got to stop.
After the Chandler fight, depending on how he does it, because like I said, that Chandler fight, by all accounts, Chandler's someone who will go in recklessly, put his head down and start swinging punches. Someone like McGregor, who's so accurate, slick, such an intelligent fighter, should be piecing him out and would be getting him out of there
So then,
very quickly. So if he doesn't, at that point, then I would have a sit down with him and I'd have a serious question marks around it, and I'd say, if you're not going to fix these certain things in your life, then I would stop fighting.
So what happened? What happened to he needs it in his life then? If he loses the fight, does he no longer need it in his life?
No, he still does. But I'm saying after that point, I think you'd have to say, look, realistically, are you going to get to where you need to get to if you don't fix certain things within your lifestyle and start taking things really seriously? Or by this point, is it too far gone? We don't know how he's going to recover from the leg break. I think it's harsh for people to say he's done. The Poirier fight, yes, the first fight he got pieced up by the calf kicks, but the second fight, he had a broken leg going into the fight. He broke his ankle in it. It was a doctor's stoppage. Was he getting pieced up by Poirier at times?
All right, I'm going to call time.
He's got skills.
Let's talk about this fight.
Wholeheartedly, I don't care about him.
Let's talk about this
You
fight.
ask her the questions, mate.
Let's talk about the fight that we're here to watch.
Cheeky bugger.
It's not too far away now. I would imagine the ring walks are going to start in about the next 10 minutes.
Hopefully.
Let's have a look at the tail of the tape there. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Let's start with Errol Spence. Right. Put my glasses on for this. Age 33, Crawford 35. Fights: Errol Spence 28, Terence Crawford 39. A lot more
James
fights.
to read it?
Yeah, 28 wins for Spence, 39 wins for Terence Crawford. Of course, both undefeated, 30 knockouts to 22 in favour of Terence Crawford. Obviously, Spence going into this with the 1-inch reach advantage, 5'9". No, height advantage, sorry. 5'9" to 5'8", with Terence Crawford actually having the 2-inch reach advantage, funnily enough, with the 74-inch
I think that height is wrong, actually.
Inch.
Errol Spence is 5'10".
But with these things, 5'9", 5'10".
No, I know that for a fact.
That
is wrong.
But seeing them face to face, he looks more than an inch taller than him. But anyway,
listen, I'm
it is what
5'8.5", and I'm not the same. I'm not within a half an inch of Errol Spence. He's 5'10", or even maybe a bit taller. But anyway, go on.
There you go. Both fighters obviously coming through with the southpaw stance. The Truth Spence going up against Bud Crawford.
If I could just hold up.
Will the
Terence
Truth
Crawford
tell the tale that he wins
is
today?
what they call a switch hitter. So, and he's one of the best at it in the world. Switch hitter meaning that he can fight from either stance.
Yeah.
He's ambidextrous.
Yeah.
So you will see in this fight, he will be southpaw at some points and orthodox at another. I mean, we're seeing him in his dressing room now, and he's even switch hitting here, but he's in the orthodox stance for the majority of the time.
It's super rare. I know you're saying he's a switch hitter and stuff like that, but it is super, super rare that we see two southpaws go at it, especially at this level of boxing. We just don't see it very often, and it just throws in a whole different dynamic to this fight.
I think that's one of the reasons as well why a lot of people are edging towards Crawford, because their rationale for picking Crawford, and I perfectly understand it, is that he can do a little bit more. He's a bit more athletically gifted than Errol Spence, and that's one of the things they talk about is switch hitting. And a lot of times when fighters switch hit, sometimes they can almost confuse their own selves. Like they don't know which way to go, or they're trying to present an angle to their opponent, but they end up confusing their own self. However, with Terence Crawford, it's such a seamless transition that he does it almost without thinking. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing tonight.
Josh Media in the chat. Shout out Josh. Said hashtag James out.
Cheers, mate. He's back at it again, this guy. I thought that stopped after the World Cup, to be honest.
Because he's been on your case for a while.
Yeah, he was on my case since I first started coming on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a vendetta against me, but he's a lovely guy. Although I think he did move the coffee machine, apparently, or the kettle.
He moved the kettle from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was out.
Yeah, what are you playing at, mate?
Right, Don Robinho says, this is the best fight in the last 20 years, in my humble opinion. I agree. I agree. I mean, obviously, the fight's not taking place here.
It's so difficult to put this up against Triple G versus Canelo in the context context of at the time.
Both these guys are more skilled than them two. Both of them.
Do you think Triple G Canelo was bigger?
I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud. At the time, it's so easy to look back now.
Oh, that was a huge fight. That was a monumental fight.
It was a big fight, though.
And you said both these guys are more skilled than a prime Canelo.
Yeah, prime Canelo, different gravy, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Prime Canelo.
Someone said Spencer is not as skilled as Canelo. It's Spence, not Spencer. But
well, again,
yeah, I don't know. It's difficult.
Listen, that was
a prime Canelo is right up there with these guys, in my opinion.
Hey, don't put down a prime Gennady Golovkin either.
Yeah, Golovkin was. I mean, you
and
say that about him being so skilled, but a lot of people thought Golovkin won both their fights.
First fight,
definitely the first fight.
I thought Golovkin won the first fight. The second fight, I thought Canelo won.
Mayweather versus Pac-Man was bigger.
Yeah, it was.
Depends on what you say is bigger. Like I said,
bigger in terms of numbers, but not necessarily bigger in not as exciting. I think.
Global appeal.
We're not talking about global appeal. I'm talking about me.
Every guy and their nan stayed up to watch that fight.
Please. Listen, I don't care about that.
James, I think it's important to you keep doing this. It's not about revenue.
Yeah,
I didn't say revenue.
No, but you often say, "Oh, it was a bigger fight, it made more money." It's not.
I didn't say anything about money.
The Ryan Garcia versus
Tank
fight will trounce us in terms of generating revenue. But do you think that is anywhere near as good a fight as this?
But I'm saying
we're not talking about revenue.
Tank Garcia did a lot of numbers, yes, but Mayweather versus Pacquiao, every guy in their nan, people that didn't even really watch boxing, stayed up and paid money to watch that fight. It was every guy in the street you walked past for months was talking about that.
We know about that, but what we're saying that this is a much more anticipated fight in terms of we don't know who's going to win.
Technical ability and skill, and it's more of a 50-50 fight. Pacquiao versus Mayweather was not a 50-50 fight. It wasn't.
No, but it's disingenuous to just write off Pacquiao after the fact.
But we listen,
would have been after the fact. I wrote him off at the time.
Yeah,
I won money on that fight.
I've got a theory about that. The reason why that was so
because people hated Mayweather.
There's a lot of people that didn't like Mayweather.
Yeah, and they badly wanted to see him lose. 100%.
And everybody thought that at the time, Pacquiao was the only one
the closest
that had a chance of doing that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It wasn't a true 50-50 fight. I mean,
and
the guy was coming off
being
sparked by
Don Rubinho said Pac-Man was out of his prime, and I agree with you, but that's exactly why this fight, the two guys are technically and fitness-wise closer to each other than Mayweather and Pacquiao were in their fight. So
there was a streak when that fight should have been made.
Agreed.
When Pacquiao was slumping, right after he slumped Ricky Hatton, and he was basically going on a tear of fighting Mayweather's previous opponents and getting them out there very quickly. I think at that point,
Wilder Fury was better in my opinion. There's just no way. I can't even start to cohesively put together.
De La Hoya Trinidad, that was a big fight, but to me, this is bigger.
Canelo Triple G is clear of this fight.
Amir Khan Prescott.
I don't know. It's one of my favourite fights of all time. Top 10 favourites for me. Any fight where Amir Khan gets knocked out is a favourite fight of mine. Don Rubinho said, "James, stay off the weed."
I'm not. I'm on the Bud Crawford, mate.
Yeah, we need to make the distinction. Everyone talks about money and pay-per-views. We're not talking about just that. Yes, that is a part of it, but we're not just talking about pay-per-views. Talking of pay-per-views, by the way, they're saying that this fight will do anything from between 750 to $1 million. That's a phenomenal amount.
That's very good.
I'm not so sure if it'll get that way.
Yeah. So it should
but it is pay-per-view in this country as well.
Yeah. That's quite low, realistically, 750 for the magnitude of the fight that we're all saying it is, and we believe it is. It is a bit of a sad indictment.
I don't think so, because remember the whole reason that this fight wasn't happening before is because Bob Arum said he was losing money on Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a super talented fighter, one of the best in the world, pound for pound, top 3 in the world, but didn't have a big social profile. Both these guys, I think Spence is probably a little bit louder than Crawford, but both these guys are quite chill characters. They don't have the big that social media,
that Amir
that
Khan presence,
that Mayweather kind of factor and presence, do you know what I mean, to sell big pay-per-views. So I think 800,000 is very, very good for these two.
Listen, if they get 800,000, that's massive.
I think that's huge.
In today's market.
Yeah.
A couple of people are saying for me to get off the fence. I've said already, I said before going into this fight, I give Crawford the edge. But, you know, it's a very close fight. It could go either way.
So many ways to stream a fight now. Pay-per-view buys don't mean as much. It's an interesting point
True.
as well.
Oh, there we go. The queen of British boxing, the queen of women's boxing, Ebony Bridges here.
See, there you go.
Ready
I didn't even
give
know
her
she was
interview.
British.
She's not.
She's not. She's Australian,
So why'd you
but
say
she
the queen
fights
of
for
British?
Matchroom, so she fights
The
for the
queen,
British.
so she's the queen of
Yeah, I
British
don't know why I
boxing.
said, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I
Stay
said
off
that.
the weed, as my boy said.
Well, technically, I'm drinking Bud, but
Just looking at Ariel Alwani,
Yeah.
he's managed to snuck himself into boxing all of a sudden.
yeah, well, it's because he works for TNT, formerly known as BT Sport. So he does wrestling, he does boxing, and he does MMA. Shout out to him because he's had a tumultuous career. The way that he was, the way that he was shut out of the UFC, which was his main brand of butter, by Dana White. Dana White, by all accounts, kind of tried to end the guy's career in a way, or shove him out because he never really liked him. And there was a big thing around UFC 200 where Brock Lesnar was returning, and Ariel Helwani apparently leaked it before they announced it. And
I always felt that Dana never liked Ariel because Ariel asked a lot of the questions
he
that
didn't want him to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that
He
was
would like
the
to
thing.
stir things up, yeah.
He was a social media guy, I think, first. So he was a law unto himself, and he wasn't signed. He wasn't.
He didn't have to answer to anyone else.
He didn't have to answer to anyone else, and so
Yeah.
he got the brand of that straight talking guy because he didn't have any kind of corporate ruler. So there you go.
But yeah, he's doing a good job there.
He is a good
job.
presenter, but it's noticeable how he's, like I said, he's becoming omnipresent now in boxing as well.
It's just because he works for TNT, so anything they do, he'll be on that.
From a
Like he
financial
even
perspective,
does
makes
wrestling,
sense.
he even
Yeah.
does WWE. So
They don't want to pay for another presenter.
Some
so.
of the legends in the house: Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield.
have you seen Mike Tyson? Big John Fury's trying to set up a fight with Mike Tyson. I saw that on Instagram the other
Tyson
day.
will bang him out in less than 3 minutes.
What about the
100%.
fight he's supposed to have with Mickey Theo? He called out Mickey Theo. Mickey Theo said, "Yeah," and all of a sudden he went quiet.
What? Bang on the floor.
Right, I reckon that the ring walk should start shortly.
Yeah.
I know I've said that a few times, but yeah. I've
Here
got a
we
super
go.
chat here from Shane Willoughby.
Oh,
He says, "Let's
boy.
get it ready.
Splashing that Vegas
Let's get
cash.
It. Are you ready? Hit the like button." Yeah, well said, Shane. Hit the like button, man.
no, don't hit it. Smash it.
Smash
the back
that
of the net.
Liz eye button, as they say in America.
Liz eye button.
The Liz eye button, that's what they say in America.
Do they? Oh, learn something new every
It's
day.
really weird, yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of Liz eye.
I'm not a fan of that. Let's park that one for now.
Oh,
About
man.
10 minutes away from the ring walk, I reckon. 4:30 ring walk.
Yeah. Whew. 10 minutes away. Probably in the next half an hour, I think we see the boys in the ring going at it. But this is what I mean, though. It should be a bit smoother, man. They should already be in the ring right now.
I don't think so. I don't think that this. For a fight.
This isn't as bad as the Inoue.
Yeah, I don't think that's that
Inoue.
bad.
No, it's nowhere near as bad as the Inoue, but they should be. We should have had these promo VTs about 15, 20 minutes ago instead of hearing some padding and waffling from a few people, aside from Amir Khan. I want to hear what he has to say. But the rest of them, we should have left that, done the VTs, and we'll hear from them after,
Nah, this doesn't bother me. If it's not when it goes on for way too long, then it bothers me. But stuff like this, 20-minute wait for a main
You
event.
get away with it when it's a massive fight like this.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
what I mean. Yeah,
Just because everyone's so excited for it.
yeah. Who's the most impressive win for both these guys? What's the most impressive win on both these guys' resume?
Amir Khan.
No, it's-
Are they out?
Right,
No, this
looks
is an
like-
old thing,
looks
is it?
like-
Go.
Oh,
I
here
can
we
see
go.
Complaining about the moment,
Here
about
we
the time, about
go.
the wait in. Didn't even take long.
There was a toss for who should come out first.
I was going to say he's coming out first. Yeah.
I think Crawford won the toss. Whether he's elected to come out first or
Imagine he
can't tell
forces
from
him
that.
to do a
Looks
coin
like
toss and
Spence,
just decides to come out first.
we can see it's a rapper. Who's that? He's big, man.
Big
He's
Zoo.
so big, I can't see who's.
I think it's Spence.
Yeah, it's Spence. Here comes
Oh,
Errol
actually,
Spence.
yeah, we should know because I think there was rumors of Terence Crawford being walked out by Eminem.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Because Eminem commented saying, "You're my favorite boxer right now." So
Really?
if that happens, that'd be
I only
pretty
knew
huge.
it was Spence because I think the rapper's chain was the state of Texas.
Oh, okay. But you
No,
don't know.
if he comes
I don't know
out,
the
You're
to-
younger than me. You're supposed to tell me which rapper this is.
I'll be honest with you, a lot of people are younger than you.
Yeah, but
So it's a big gap.
it's a big gap. But you're supposed to know your music, man. Who is it?
no,
I have no idea. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a big
I don't know
dude,
who
I know.
Maxwell Green is. No,
He's as big as Biggie, but I bet he's nowhere near as good as Biggie. I'll tell you that. The
I'd say
greatest,
if
Biggie's a
the
lot bigger
greatest
than him.
rapper of all time, in my opinion.
Oh god, let's not
greater than Eminem,
let's
Yeah,
not yes.
yeah.
greater than JME. I don't think so.
Let's not legislate.
And you know
this.
what? Man don't care about this argument. I'll see you after the VT.
Francisco said,
Francisco,
oh, go ahead.
yeah, he's talking switch it in. Laurie probably remembers Hagler mistakenly fought the first half of his fight against Elson. Yeah, Hagler was a switcher. Yeah. Good point. Well said, Francisco. Francisco often contributes when we do the Boxing Lowdown, my son's channel. So yeah, big up. See, these are the kind of guys that we attract, guys who know this stuff. Big up, Francisco, for that.
Nick
But yeah,
attracts
so
a
how
lot,
do you think
guys.
Errol Spence looks in the corner?
Looks good.
Our production team say worried. I don't know. He
He does
quite
look a bit nervous. He does.
But this is the
Trim
thing.
could
the
do
thing
with
is,
a bit of.
this is one of the
fading.
reasons I was asking who's the best winner of both their careers, because this is the biggest night for both of them. I think Crawford's probably had more of these types of nights. He's more experienced in this type of environment.
I'm going to tell you straight away, and I was there that night. In 2017, Errol Spence came over here and took Kell Brook's titles at Sheffield,
Yeah.
hostile territory, against a Kell Brook that was a very, very good fighter. Okay,
My
Kell
favourite
Brook was
British
coming
fighter
off-
of this time.
Kell Brook was coming off the.
Here comes the
loss
boy. Here
against
comes Bud
Golovkin,
Crawford. Good.
But he was still a very good welterweight. He was unbeaten as a welterweight at that time, and Errol Spence stopped him, and I think that is his best win. But he's had some very good wins. The Danny Garcia win was a very good win, especially after the car crash he suffered.
It is M.
Is it Eminem?
It
Oh,
is.
it's Eminem.
Mate,
Oh
it
my
is. I
God.
told you.
Eminem.
Mate, imagine if he's
That is
coming out.
sick.
You got one chance, one
That's
opportunity
sick. I do love Eminem.
to
I'm not
make
gonna
it
lie.
count.
Wow.
Knees
sick.
are weak.
So
That
you
is
don't
sick.
get that in UFC, do you?
You got vomit
Look,
on your sweater already.
that
Mom's
is
spaghetti.
serious, man. What's
He's
that?
got a
Oh,
win
he's got,
now.
he's
He's got
got
the
a
fishnet.
prime chain on him, mate. This
He's
guy,
got a win.
He's got a prime
win.
chain. We
He's
are
got what?
getting primed up for Terence
Oh,
Crawford
stop.
today, baby.
Let's talk about. Did you see that netting on Terence Crawford there? That's in
That
reference
was
to.
from the Champions League final.
That is in reference to Errol Spence calling himself the big fish.
Got you.
So, and he said he's going to catch the fish tonight. So
Hey, that
I
is-
like that as well, man.
Got
Good
you.
touch.
He's got RIP Trent Alexander-Arnold on his jacket. He's got a prime
Sure that's
chain,
not
and
Trent
he's got
Alexander-Arnold.
Eminem walking him out. This guy is ready to rumble today. This is crazy.
Eminem, I've never seen Eminem walk anybody out.
No,
That is
Eminem
massive.
barely leaves the house. He's a
Yeah.
very difficult person.
He
by all
is a big
accounts,
boxing fan, though, Eminem.
Yeah,
He is.
And
that's huge.
I just want to know what he's coming out to. I mean, he's not rapping anymore. I don't think so. He's just walking out.
Huge. It's like he announced him. It looked like he announced him, kind of.
It was interesting because Terence Crawford the other day, he was rapping himself on the stage at the weigh-in to one of the little, was it? Carter.
Yeah, Em's fallen back, and his Crawford's training team saying, "Come, man, come through." There you go. Put your predictions down in the chat. I know it's pretty split. I think the majority of people have said Crawford.
Crawford looks a little bit nervous too.
Yeah, big night, big night. So, well, Don Rubino just said Crawford looks too confident.
I don't know, man. He looks a
Depends
bit
on how-
pensive.
Go on, body language experts, talk to me.
What I
Nah,
would
he's
say is
chilling,
that
man.
though both of them look focused. I would say that. Both of them look focused. There's not a lot of high-fiving and chatting and laughing. You know, sometimes you see fighters, they come to the ring, they're laughing, they're smiling, they're singing along to lyrics. Not this time. Both fighters look pensive, look focused. And Brad Crawford's about to enter the ring. He's got the fish net over his robe. Like I said, that net is in reference to Errol Spence calling himself the big fish, and Crawford has always said that he's going to catch the big fish.
And let's see if Spence stays true to his word. He said he's going to come out and he's going to look to to be the aggressor. We know that both of these guys are slow starters. Probably Crawford a little bit of a slower starter than Spence is. So the way they come out and who takes centre ring, this is all going to be really interesting. With fighters this technical, all of this stuff matters. Every little detail matters.
I wonder how much of a bag Terence Crawford's getting for promoting Prime.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder how much they're paying him for that chain. Probably a good couple $100K, I'd say.
No, they would have given him the chain, but I wonder how much they're paying him.
No, I mean, yes, I said they probably given him a good couple $100K to wear the chain.
Shorter man with 5
probably more than that.
Nah,
5 centimetre extra reach. That's
yeah, he's got a couple inches reach. He's
that's
got long arms.
Impressive, yeah, really long arms. That's crazy.
Big up Simo Soups. He said, I don't know much about either fighter, but whoever Laurie's backing, then I put my money on. Laurie seems incredibly knowledgeable. Thank you so much, Simo. Appreciate
Simo,
that.
you must be new here.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I
agree.
would describe myself as knowledgeable. You know, I've been watching boxing a very long time. However, I have to
Not as knowledgeable
admit,
as some.
I have to also admit that I don't always get my predictions right. Now, listen, with tonight, it could easily go either way. I'm leaning towards Crawford, but if Spence won, I would be happy with that also. So
Because he's Jamaican.
not just that, but it's not just that. If you know me, like for any length of time,
sorry to cut you. Someone said Crawford round 5. These I keep bringing in these predictions. Crawford round 5 is. I think Crawford's going to win, but round 5 is.
Max says Laurie only reading the comments he likes. Well, listen, I don't like your comment, but I just read it. So hey, chill out. Bro.
He's played the Uno reverse card there.
Chill out.
Laurie's something else, 450 people
Hey,
in the
he's
chat.
on
Smash
smoke
the like
today.
button. And make sure that you're subscribed as well, because we're going to be bringing you boxing content every single week.
Parker's made a good
Sometimes
point
twice.
here. He says people think Spence is just a heavy hitter. He was a top amateur. He was a top amateur. In fact, he represented the USA at the 2012 Olympics. I was there, actually, the night when he fought the Indian fighter, which he was deemed to have lost, and they later overturned the decision, and he went out in the next round against an Eastern European fighter.
He was a top amateur, but I don't know anybody that said. I don't know this. Like people are saying that he's only a big hitter. I've not seen that from anybody. Have you? Is that a common narrative? I think he's known as the bigger hitter, but I don't think people think he's only a big hitter.
No, he's not only a big hitter. No. You don't get this far in the game and be unbeaten and not be. There's a Jamaican flag that myself see it there. There it is. Errol Spence's dad draped himself with the Jamaican colours, which he does for all of Spence's fights, which, as I was saying earlier today on one of the streams, is one of the reasons why Errol Spence is very popular in the Afro-Caribbean community, in particular the Jamaican community, because they like to see people rep the flag. So big up, speaking as a person of Jamaican heritage myself, big up Errol Spence and his dad for that. Win or lose, it's nice to see that. Respect due.
This is what's sick. Arsenal Maniac said Crawford is made the betting favourite, but I think Spence will break him down and stop him late. Crawford looks a bit like a deer in the headlights. He's trying to look too calm, but he looks nervous.
They both look a bit nervous to me, you know?
And then Daniel Chambers on the opposite end of the spectrum saying Spence knows if he fights aggressive, it's a wrap for him. Do you know what I mean? So
no, but I think Spence has to fight aggressive. He's not going to beat... I think even Spence will tell you this. Right?
Also, sorry, real quick. I know that person said they trust you, and Don Rubinho said, no, I trust Nick more. My guy. Love for that.
Well, listen, I've got no problem with that.
Are you sure he didn't say I trust James more?
Nobody trusts James. Guys in the chat, 454.
Well, do
any of you trust James? That's the next question.
I
Go ahead,
trust
Mark.
James.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Does anyone trust him?
I trust James to be simping over Conor
Yeah,
McGregor.
I knew there was a twist. I was waiting for it. I sent him the hook.
When's the fight start in the UK? It's on
It's about
now.
to start
They're in
now.
the ring.
Jimmy Lennon Jr.
There you go. We're getting ready right now.
Here we
I can't believe that we're here, you know. This fight has been
That's what I'm about to say.
in the making for so long.
Five years ago, when that video, it's like this fight's been coming for about 6, maybe even 7 years. But 5 years ago was when we saw that video of them backstage talking to each other, and they both looked so confident. You know, the trash talk was on 10. I'd say Crawford looked even more confident because it was Spence that was with all his friends and Crawford was on his own.
But you see, at that time as well, Spence was going through a time when a lot of people, myself included, was saying that he wasn't the most focused outside the ring. If you remember, during that little exchange they had, Crawford touched his belly and said, "What's this, fat?" because Spence's career was in a bit of limbo, and then it wasn't too long after he had the car crash.
Well, he's always had professionalism problems, and he's always been a bit of a. He's in very, very good shape. So when I say a balloon fighter, a balloon in professional athlete standards, do you know what I mean? But he was somebody that was getting, especially when he started hanging around the tank and the Charlos, and they all started hitting the clubs, and he was getting in and out of weight.
I had a phrase where I say they were acting more like rappers and boxers.
Yeah.
But I think the car crash was a pivotal moment because although as bad as it was, it helped him to
focus,
realign, recalibrate his career and his life. And he's really focused now. And that last performance against Ugas, that was one of his best performances. And that's his last performance before this fight, which has to be said was quite a while ago. It was 18 months ago. But nevertheless, he looks confident now. He's smiling a little bit in there. They're just reading out his name now. He's pointing to the man down and the truth.
The R-Truth.
How many nicknames has Errol Spence got? The
Loads.
man down, the truth, big fish.
Smart shop.
Self-storage,
Yeah. Will he be a smart shop?
But we're moments away, people. This
today?
is exciting times, man. The biggest fight, in my views, from a purely boxing perspective,
since
for a long time.
Tyson
Let's
Fury
just leave
versus
it at
Ngannou.
that.
Yeah.
In ages.
Oh, you don't want to read out Dan Griffith's comment, Laurie?
What's he said?
Don't wanna read that out, mate. Oh, wait.
That
He
video-
said I don't trust James. Oh.
That video, Arsenal manager's talking about a video on Javante. That is an old video, actually. I don't know why that's been circulated all of a sudden. I think the police must have circulated it.
Yeah.
But that is an old video. That's not recent. So I just want to put that out there. But
Couple of
listen, man, with regards to that video, we don't condone anything like that. However, Javante Davis was subsequently cleared of all that. The charges were dropped. Right, so here we are, man. They've touched gloves. We are about to start. I'm scoring this fight. I think the others are too.
Yep.
And we're about to have liftoff. First round's about to listen, man. My palms are sweating. Manny Pacquiao in the background there. He's there, as are many celebrities. Wow. Terence Crawford looks very focused. He's looking straight ahead.
He's going to have to really focus up because he's going to be on
What
the
I'll be
defensive.
interested to see is who, if Spence runs out and tries to hold that centre of the ring. To me, that is a pivotal moment in this fight. If he can hold the centre of the ring, that increases his chances.
And like James says, make him respect the power.
Damn
here we
right,
go.
yeah.
Crawford coming forward straight away.
I think that's the first time in your life you've ever said like James says. So this is a crazy show tonight, boys.
Crawford has
Maybe my
stepped
brain's
forward,
starting
but
to rub off on them.
trying to make him, trying to engage with him a little bit. We know he's just going to try and get that rhythm and get that flow and start to make adjustments from there.
Crawford repping
Omaha,
Omaha.
Nebraska.
He's got the netting on his shoes as well.
And his shorts.
When he goes with a theme, he's consistent.
Yeah.
Some feeling out jabs.
Thing is, again, with Crawford
They're
being a
both,
switch
they're
hitter,
both southpaw.
the jab, they're both southpaw at the moment, and the jabs can come from anywhere with Crawford. But Errol Spence trying to score.
He's not earning the respect so far. Is Spence, but he's feeling him out.
Spence is having the majority of the ring.
He
He's
is
pushing him back slightly, but not,
pushing him back,
you know,
not landing anything significant,
nothing's
but
landed
early
significant,
portions.
But I expected this. I didn't expect him to go hell for leather.
The only thing is, like you said, with both men, you use the word tentative. Hopefully, we don't get a bit of a dead rubber in this fight. Hopefully,
We definitely
I hope
won't.
It starts to
We
open up
definitely
a little
won't.
bit.
They will be tentative, but the moment that it sparks,
Oh, good jab by
it will
Crawford.
spark. It's a really good jab. And I think he caught Spence earlier with a counter.
Oh,
just as Spence went for the body.
That's where Spence wants to be.
Both
Crawford
you
holds.
can see the amateur experience. What your opponent scored against you. Let me go and score a point straight back. Spence going for the body a lot, like you did
That's
say.
what he does,
You knew that he'd look for
Up
that.
jab there from Crawford. Starting to
Up,
warm
down,
up a
left,
little bit
right.
now.
Difficult.
Center.
Difficulty
round to
going.
score.
Coming like a
difficulty
GTA
going
cheat
for the
code.
body because
Oh,
he could,
good shot by Spence.
Oh,
Right
he
hand
hit
over
the
the top.
glove.
Landed on
He
the
hit
gloves.
the glove,
Sorry,
mate.
left hand over the top because the southpaw. That landed.
hit the
And
gloves.
Landed on his glove.
No, it landed.
Yeah.
It landed on his gloves.
Well, to me,
Mate.
it landed, bro.
You got to get rid of the glasses and get binocular sunshine. 'Cause that landed on his gloves.
I see more connection in the Amazon rainforest with 3 data, mate. So that's all I'm saying.
I'm sticking by my
And I have 3 data.
It may not
I
have
can
landed
confirm.
fully, but it definitely landed.
Backing him up, though. He's able to back him up. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That strength.
Backing it up like a student in a nightclub.
This is a very even round.
Great technical boxing. Not a lot landing clean, but still very good technical boxing here.
It's shaping up. You can
All
see
that amateur experience coming out.
You can see Crawford very thoughtful, like he's trying to download the data.
Yeah.
Pensive, if you will.
No, he's not pensive, bro. This is good, high-quality chess match boxing.
I'm joking. Pensive in thought.
And like you say, he's going to try and set traps. He's going to look for Spence to punch himself out, but Spence just will not punch himself out. He has a great.
You know what,
great
man?
time.
I don't like to do this, man, but that has to be an even round.
Nah, I'm gonna give it to Spence.
I have to give it to Jed.
I'm gonna give it to Spence.
Nah, that was.
You shouldn't just give rounds to somebody.
I'm not just giving.
You just said nothing landed, and now you're giving it to Spence.
Yeah, but he controlled the round.
Not literally nothing. In professional boxing,
Well,
I can
that's what
still
you
score.
said.
I can still score coming forwards and being the aggressor, and that's what I'm going to score.
I think, yeah, it was a good round. I think, yeah, I guess you could just about edge Spence, but I've personally gone with an even round for that.
The thing is, I think
that
we'll
overhand
see,
left that landed, not doing anything.
Well, according to you, you said it didn't land.
I know, that's why I said it, because it didn't land. It hit his glove.
I'm going to put an asterisk against that because you make a good point. If I said that landed and that was the best shot of the round, and really, in a close round, that should be the difference.
That sounds
So
like a bit. It sounds like a bit of fence sitting from you there,
It is
Laurie.
a little bit offensive. But no, I'm going to go for
Splinters up your
Spence.
crack if you're not careful, mate.
Just on account of that big left hand that
Yeah.
you lot say didn't land, but I say did. Right, here we go. Round 2.
Oh, here we go.
Spence looks...
Again, starting off as you would
He's
before.
getting
Now
the
that
centre
left
of that
hook
ring.
landed.
Oh, good right hand there from Crawford.
Crawford is... he's got his hands up. He's a bit weary. As well he
Hands
might.
really high. Yeah. He's trying to look
Spence.
for those gaps.
Go, there's that body work by Spence.
A swing and a miss.
So he's trying to use his size, impose himself a little
He
bit.
has to do that. I mean, when we was watching the fight the other day in Inoue Fulton, as I was saying today to Daryl, as soon as I saw Inoue backing Fulton up in the latter half of that first round, I started to think straight away it was going to be a long night for Fulton.
Yeah.
Spence, he needs to back Crawford up because, like I said, Crawford has the tools to box him from the outside successfully.
Who has the quicker hands?
I would say Crawford.
I would say Crawford as well. It even looks
In
like
this
it so
fight,
far.
Spence looks the sharper of the two for me.
No, but Spence is the more active. I think.
Oh, that's good by Crawford.
Great. That's brilliant.
Good couple of punches
Brilliant.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could be mistaken activity for speed. I think Crawford's not throwing as much. He's not as active. But when he throws, he's landing there again.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Good
that's
lateral
a good
movement. Good lateral. Yeah, that's good. Spence trying to. This
trying
is
to-
such good boxing.
Oh.
Such good
Spence
boxing.
having a good bit of success there. Not all landing, but he is the man. He is the aggressor.
But you would expect Spence to get these early rounds under
Good
his
job
belt.
by Spence.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crawford, you'd expect to grow into the fight more.
For sure.
As
But
he
Crawford still
figures him
landed
out.
that meaningful flurry, and Spence hasn't landed anything meaningful this round. I'm still leaning. Slightly
He started
towards
off
Crawford.
the round with a good left hook. Or overhand left.
Good jab by Crawford there.
Crawford
I get the impression
catching
that
him with that jab every time.
This is just great. This is just great boxing to watch. I
It
could
is.
watch 100 rounds of this. This is amazing.
Good defense by Spence there. He anticipated the shot coming back and had his hands up. Good jab by Crawford.
Yeah.
body work by
Crawford actually
Spence.
having some success.
Oh,
with throwing
shoves him off there.
Crawford having some success with the jab, just being tentative about when to throw it. Both exchanging jabs.
Oh, good shot
there
by
you go.
Crawford. This is round is starting to catch fire now.
Yeah,
this
there you
fight.
go. It's going to slowly take up pace. Someone's saying Spence
Oh.
controlling the tempo.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that.
I
don't
last
know.
minute or so, though, I think Crawford's starting to
I'm
come
leaning
into it.
Crawford.
Oh!
Let's go!
Big fat guy with the round 5 Crawford might not be so far away now,
Big
huh?
puncher, come on.
Was he
Come
off
on.
balance or was he
I don't
hurt?
care.
No, that
No
was a
one
beautiful,
cares. No one
beautiful
cares.
left
No one
straight.
cares. Come on.
Oh!
That's beautiful. Don't you? Yep.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Oh!
Saved by the bell.
Oh,
Saved by the
man.
bell. Saved by the bell. Andres, I told these man it's an 80-20 fight, you know. I told them. I told them it's an 80-20 fight.
Hang on,
Bro.
Nick. Hang on, Nick. You say it's 80-20 fight. When my guy in the chat said round 5 Crawford, well, I think Crawford's going to win, but that's a bit
still too early. That's still too early. That's still too early. That's still
Mate,
too
he's
early.
dropped him in 2 rounds.
It don't matter.
Wait, let's have a look at this.
Counter shot in it at the back of the head.
Oh, beautiful shot. He's off balance, but
He is off balance, to be fair, but that is
But
crazy.
it looked like he hurt him towards the end of the round as well.
He definitely hurt him.
Yeah, oh, he did.
Look at that guy's eyes at the back there. Look.
Listen, all banter aside, no one expected anyone to be getting dropped in the second round.
Spence was having a good round up until that.
He was having a good round. I was edging that round towards Crawford anyway.
Oh, he overextended with that jab and bang.
10-8 round, man. 10-8 rounds.
10-8 round.
Crawford dropped Errol Spence with a great counter punch for those of you that are not seeing the fight. And it was
this
kind
is
of
what we needed. Now this fight is alive,
It was kind of against the run of play. Spence was being the aggressor.
Spencer's, I know he's going to want to get some get back.
100%.
But the problem with that is he going to run onto another one?
He's going to get caught into Terrence's.
This is what we said as well. This is what
Crawford's
we said.
plan. He's
With
going to get caught into that plan.
Spence's aggression, it's going to bring him into the counter punching skills of Crawford, and that's exactly what happened.
Crawford having some success again, starting to just show the level, just picking his moments.
Have you seen Spence drop before? I don't think I have.
No, I don't think. Andres,
Oh,
can you
good
fact
body
check?
shot.
I don't know if
he's got him
Spence has been
cornered,
dropped.
but Crawford coming back.
Crawford's such a great counter puncher.
He's
this
always
is good.
so dangerous.
Spence has got Crawford in the corner, just throwing levering into the body.
I think you're right. His hand speed there does seem to be
Crawford's much quicker.
Yeah.
Crawford's got the quicker hands.
When he's pinned back in the corner there,
Yeah.
he's so dangerous. Even then, when you think you got him hurt.
But it's good body work by Spence, though.
It is, for sure. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to try and slow him down somehow. But Crawford's got those great hand speed. And this is the thing. You're going to think that Spence is controlling the tempo because he's fighting at a consistent speed where Crawford's picking his moments. But he's getting success in the moments that he picks. That's that experience. Backing into the ropes again.
Look at
great
that
shot
head
by Spence.
movement, man.
I think Spence is having a good round this round, actually.
Great move. I don't
He
know.
hasn't been as good.
I don't think so.
He hasn't done this, really.
You don't think so?
Nah.
This is a Crawford round so far for me.
I'd lean Crawford as well
I
so
disagree.
far.
I disagree.
Spence has been very aggressive, but
I
again,
disagree.
he's
I
been
think
getting
Spencer's-
clipped.
Look at that. I think Spencer's having a good round.
But he's not landing
Spence is
with
having
anything.
a good round, I agree, but I'd still edge the round to Crawford, the counter punching. He's got to keep an eye for those quick counter punches.
Nah, I think you guys are bluffing, bro.
Good.
Oh, there you go.
counter shot there
Exchange
by
jabs.
Crawford.
Oh, no, there
it is again.
Every time he lands, he's getting clipped by two. Every punch he lands, he's getting clipped by two.
Anthony Joshua
Crawford.
needs to watch Terence Crawford. Every time Errol Spence lands, like James says, he just fires back a rapid counter punch.
Rapid counter combination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's trading ones for twos. And that is a good investment, as Shane would say.
Yeah.
Shane must be loving this.
This is high quality stuff.
This is proper quality. Great
there you
counter right
go,
again.
Mate.
This is Crawford's round. So long as he can
Mate,
keep it like
as
this.
this fight goes on,
So long as he
Spence
can
is
keep it like
crumbling
this.
like Crawford cream in a hot mug of tea.
When we start seeing Crawford become the aggressor, that's when Spence is in problems.
Spencer's face looks a bit marked up as well.
He does as well, but he's a little bit. He's a redskin boy.
Yeah,
isn't he? He's a bit-
he looked,
do you know what I mean?
even from the first round, his face was
He's a bit
very
like
red.
Andres. Do you know what I mean? He's got that skin tone. And mark up man's face easy. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, I think initially I had
Come
Spence
on, man.
winning the round, but I think Crawford's counters towards the latter end of that round had
Is that more fence sitting from you there?
No, I just said.
I'm trying to switch hit in the chat and that, blood. Laurie, blood. We see you.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 10-9 to my boy Terence. It is only right, you know. He's primed up today. And
Got it
at 35 years of age,
29-27
he is
so
in
far, going into the fourth. Our production team scoring the fight as well.
I've got it 30-27.
Get some comments in. Elliot Lee said Bull versus Matador. Matador with the brains is always going to win. All sports fan Adam said Crawford's breaking him down slowly.
Oh, mate, see, this guy knows. Got to put respect on James's IQ. Laurie freestyling.
Floyd Mayweather there.
See what I'm talking about,
Floyd's
man.
loving it. Crawford is dominating. Crawford's stronger and sharper. I don't know if Crawford's stronger, but he's
Thank
Oh,
you,
look at
Dad's
that
the
jab.
game.
Look at
Thank
that
you,
jab.
mate. Dad's that game, sorry.
I think we're getting to that territory now where Spence needs a good round. Because The last 2 rounds he's lost, and he's been knocked down as well. So
starting to been trying to impose his size, get close, get aggressive, even if he's not landing punches, trying to just establish that dominance.
Look at that!
Yeah,
Look at that! He couldn't dominate an arm wrestling exchange against a toddler, mate. Let alone
I'm gassed because I'm supporting Crawford, and I said Crawford's going to win. But listen, put some respect on Spence. If he lands clean, the whole momentum.
His face is looking a bit.
His face is definitely marked up for sure. It looked like he burned a zoot before he went in that ring. I'm not going to lie.
Good shot there by Spence. Oh, good shot by Spence.
Great shot by Spence. Really nice shot.
That was a good moment for Spence. This is high quality stuff. Oh, good shot by Crawford.
Is he bleeding from the nose, or am I seeing things?
He's been bleeding from the nose for like 2 rounds.
No, I said I saw his face was red, but he wasn't bleeding before. He's only just bled.
No, he's been bleeding now for a round.
Reds 2308's a 2-1
Oh!
Remember, Reds, that there was a knockout, so it's actually probably 3-1.
This is whoever said round 5 Crawford. I think you're making serious. He's wobbling. He's like a drunk man on stilts.
This is not looking good for Spence right now, man. He's cut. He's bruised.
He used too much energy in that opening 2 rounds. He's starting to back up
now. What you're seeing from Spence, he's going to start to not be as aggressive.
You know what? He's been a couple of times, man, when he's hit, his legs have done a little...
Yeah, a little wobble.
Yeah. And he's still trying to come forward, though.
Remember, it was Spence that got on the phone to Crawford and said, let's get this fight on. He may be regretting that phone call right now, standing in there in the middle of round 4.
Crawford is definitely the superior man in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Great
he's
defense.
chilling now. He's chilling.
The cross-body defense from Crawford is great. And the activity from Spence is starting to slow down. And when you expect Spence to be the aggressor, when he starts to slow down, looking a bit like you said about Fulton, looking a little bit out of ideas almost.
Yeah. He can't land on him
clean. So he's not sure what to throw.
And now you see...
This is the longest point. And then he receives a punch straight in.
Now you see a little shift as well. Crawford's starting to come forward. You see,
once
you see that...
Yep.
Once you see that, bro, that is...
This is the longest inactivity that Spence has had. This is the longest period of time.
What I'm looking at is the positioning of the ring, the real estate. Look, Crawford is holding centre ring. That is a bad sign for Spence.
And not getting greedy. Crawford's fighting this fight pretty much perfectly.
Tactics by Crawford. Perfect.
Prime tactics.
See that? He's backing people if you're at home. Crawford is now the one walking Spence down, and that's bad news for Errol Spence.
Oh, and look at that, mate. He's spun him with a body shot.
He's cut.
We did also say because Spence normally goes in and
definitely a Crawford.
Because Spence normally goes in and takes people out. We said on Wednesday we do not know what his punch resistance is like. We've seen him get caught here and there, but we don't know if he really holds a lot of punches.
No, I think his punch resistance is good because if it wasn't, he'd have been over already. Well, he has been over already.
It's a great left hand from Crawford. Just watching that back. It's just the replay now. The round 4 is over. And again, it was another terrible.
Look at that. He's in and he's out slick.
I would actually say that at the moment, Crawford is in control of this fight.
See
and
this
it's not looking good for Errol Spence.
Look at that left
He got rocked a couple of times as well.
He did. But he's so clever with it, Crawford. He's in, throws his quick combinations, and he's straight out every time Spence tries to fire back.
That corner
with a shot.
as well. Spence's
His
corner looks a
footwork
bit
has
agitated.
been phenomenal this fight.
It's 4-1 on my scorecard so far. 3-1 in rounds, but obviously there is a knockdown as well. So 4-1 in total.
And I think the crucial moment, I'm sorry, guys, if you think I'm going on, but it's so important to note that towards the end of that last round, Crawford was actually backing Spence up. Now, if that continues, that is a bad look for Errol Spence because
Errol Spence is shattered.
His game plan was to back Crawford up and bully him.
KR said, oh, hang on.
What's happened?
Before they've come out, I think the ref's going to...
his blood from his nose
take a look.
Oh, no, don't end the fight like this. No, you
Doctor's
snake.
taking a look at him because of all the blood.
No, come on.
KR in the chat said he's weight drained, no power, no stamina. But KR, we do know... and
What is this? What are they doing?
I think they're seeing if he's concussed.
That could be part of it, but it was Terence Crawford that we know that was struggling to make weight. And yet here he is.
Well, Spencer said regardless of the result tonight, he's moving up in weight.
If he doesn't do something quick...
Oh, he got caught again.
Another counter left.
I think they might stop this if Spence doesn't do something quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, mate, this is a clinic, mate.
It's become a bit one-sided.
This is a clinic.
It's starting to become a bit one-sided, people.
Just not getting greedy. We're not even halfway through yet. Just not getting greedy.
He's trying to be a Cody now.
Crawford is boxing
Doctor
perfectly.
taking serious looks at Errol Spence as well.
Doctor stoppage.
Which means the doctor will probably keep looking round after round after round.
Mate, he's like a cobra.
He is.
He's just pouncing, mate.
He's run out of ideas, Spence.
No, I think his idea is still the same, but he can't execute it.
Yeah, that was a low one. Yep, that was a low blow there.
He needs something.
But unlike Amir Khan, he's
positive
not going to
happen.
fall over.
See, these people that were saying he knew he's pound for pound number one. Look at the clinic that Crawford is putting on against one of the pound for pound fighters in the world.
Yeah.
So this is what I was saying about being too premature, because this is brilliant. Look at that defense.
To be fair,
and he countered him there as well.
Yeah, he's so good.
He took 3 shots on the glove, people, then countered with
look
the
at
left
that.
hook.
This is insane.
He's controlling him as well.
Look at that. I don't-
Beautiful.
Ladies and gents, I'm not sure if this fight's going the distance. And I say that as a big Errol Spence fan.
Yeah, Spence is going to get stopped. He's going to get stopped here
Because
in the next
Crawford
3-4
is looking
rounds.
clinical. And what I like about Crawford, he's not getting greedy. He's not
Yeah.
rushing in. He's just dissecting
clean.
his opponent, countering him, using a jab, using footwork.
Someone said Spence is over the hill. I mean, he's fighting someone 2 years older than himself. I mean,
This is what you always get with some people, though, isn't it? As soon as
you can't say that
they
based
said
on
it
one
about
performance.
Fulton as well. As soon as Inoue put it on Fulton, Fulton's not that good.
Someone said they should stop the fight. I think it's a bit premature to stop the
Yeah,
fight.
you can't stop
No,
it
you
now.
can't stop it. Yeah,
Stop it here.
but
No, after
if
we've
it carries
waited all
on
those
like
years.
this, man, I
2 or
think
3 more rounds of this.
I
and I
see
think we
Derek
could be
James
looking at
might
that.
have a decision to make.
See what Crawford's doing
Because
there,
one thing about
grabbing
Spence, he's not going to
Spence's
give up.
lead
Oh, he
hand.
got caught again. Then.
Another great left hand. Gorgeous. So quick. You can't even see them.
No, but it's so clever. Every time Spence is coming in, Crawford's grabbing his right arm, Spence's right arm, and he's stuffing it under his.
Got caught there.
Completely
left with overhand
isolating
left.
all of his attack from up close.
This is a
Look,
better
he's doing it
passage.
again.
Yeah.
This is a better passage of play for Spence. He's landed a few body shots, but he's not been able to do. Oh, good shot by Spence.
Great left hand. Great
Yeah,
left
he's
hand.
clipped him,
Big left
and
hook.
you could tell he felt that.
But
The
back comes
way he-
Crawford. This is really. That was a great shot by Spence.
It's a really
Left
good-
hook
really
over the
good
top.
Crawford acknowledged it as well, but he's straight
Crawford
back on
wants
the
to get it
offense.
back.
The
You
thing
see
is,
that?
but the things with Crawford, he knows, like, you know, okay, put that down
But
to
look, again,
lack of
guys,
concentration,
again, look
then we
at the
go
foot
back in.
placings. Look at who's coming forward. It's
Yeah.
Crawford. And this is what I was saying, bro. Got to give that round to... There's a better round for Spence, but I've got to give it to Crawford again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as we said, once he downloads the data and once he gets you figured out, that's when you see him
He
start to grow
downloaded
into
the
the
data
fight.
very quickly.
Oh,
I mean,
he did. Yeah,
didn't take
absolutely.
long.
Yeah.
It didn't
Mate,
take long at all.
he's got that new 5G internet, mate. He's got that 1 gig up, 1 gig down. That's what
It's-
he's rocking.
As soon as as soon as Crawford landed that power punch, that was it.
That was all she wrote.
You mean Spence?
No, Terence Crawford.
You
No,
mean
what I'm
as soon as
saying is
he
there was
knocked
a
him
moment
down.
in that last round where Spence landed a big
No, but I mean
shot.
No, he said
over
the
the
second
course
round.
of the whole fight.
Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah. The knockdown in the second
Yeah.
round. Yeah. Ever since then, it's
Ever
been-
since
Agree,
then,
mate. Great minds think alike.
Right,
5G.
so this fight's going quick as well. We're into round 6.
Stephen
And,
A. Smith said, "I predict Spence knocks him out this round."
Spence?
Controversial. That's what he said. The man knows.
Yeah, but
Hey,
what
hey,
did- you
you
don't know
can't
nothing
knock
about
him
boxing,
out.
no.
Although,
Oh, good shot there by
Another
Crawford.
straight away as well. The first 10
Yeah.
seconds, you're just eating.
Did you see
leather
that?
right away?
And you can see Spence is hurt because he's backing up.
really quick. Yeah.
Oh, this could be it, you know?
Starting to look for a finish.
Yeah, he is.
puts
I'll
on
tell you what,
You
man,
don't see
Crawford-
Spence backed up on the ropes that much, man. You just
No.
don't see that. 35 years old. When is a man's peak? Whenever he
he's
says
just
it
a
is.
superior boxer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just showing it.
He's backing up more than a gal in Tiger.
Spence needs a shot from... Oh, that was a decent shot.
Oh,
I'll give Spence credit, man. He's really trying in there. He's
For sure.
doing everything he can, but this guy's just too good for him so far.
Daniel
anyway.
Chambers saying, I think Derek James will throw in the towel, and I think it could be right. I think
I
a
think
round or
so
two
as
of
well.
this.
Yeah.
no.
I think, yeah, because if his
because
man...
you
he's
can
not-
never count it out, mate. You can never count it out.
Yeah,
He
I
could
mean,
land
if
a
he-
shot
if
later
he's,
on.
he's taking years off his life.
Yeah,
if he keeps
Yeah, but
getting
this is
beaten
the
up,
biggest
man.
fight of his career.
Yeah,
Don't
but
matter.
James, listen to us. If he's getting beaten up, he can move up to 154. You don't want to get
And be
battered
great
to a
again.
pulp.
And
Yeah.
be great again. Do you know what I mean?
He can be
I do-
great again, but this is his deciding fight.
is
This
not
is
UFC,
what
bro.
this
This
is
is
what his
boxing.
entire life has come down
Oh,
to.
that's a good
As
combination by
Eminem said,
Spence.
you get one shot, one opportunity.
Great
Oh.
right hand, and it rocked him. That was a straight right hand.
See, the thing is, every time Spence has a
buckled.
degree of success, back comes Crawford with a big shot.
Crawford's power is like very, very underrated
It
because
is.
he's buckling Spence with these shots. When he hits him clean,
KR, this fight 5 years ago, Spence destroys Bud.
Telling Spence to
No,
keep his
you can't
shots
say,
up.
especially when Crawford's the older fighter. You can't say 5 years ago Spence is gonna shut him down.
R30, there is a rematch clause. There's a two-way rematch clause. But if the fight's really one-sided, Spence does have the opportunity to move up to 154. And if he gets really battered out of sight here, which he has been, I don't think he'll look for a rematch, to be honest. He'll probably move up to 154 and try his luck there.
Good body work by Spence. He's definitely trying. Oh, good.
Yeah, he's landing a couple. He's landed a couple.
Yeah, but look, Crawford's unfazed.
Not
Shrugs
enough.
him off again.
Not enough. Oh, no, there's some good shots to getting landed there, but great left.
Great left hook by Crawford, though.
This is where Spence likes it as well, up close and personal, getting those body shots in. But
It's
then,
close,
Is it that one-sided, said Manny? It is extremely
no,
one-sided.
it's not.
No,
No. Come
no,
on.
that's
It's
harsh.
not extremely one-sided.
No, especially not this last round.
No, I'm talking about the fight in general. It's you don't think it's a one-sided fight?
It's not extremely so. You're
Not
making it look.
you look
Oh,
extremely.
good shot.
Okay, all right. It's not extremely one-sided. All right.
It's not.
Okay.
Spence is doing some
Okay,
good
well,
work.
I'd say I gave the first round to Spence. I
Yes,
thought the
and
second
then-
round Spence had almost
But
had
anyway,
it until
I think
Crawford
it's fair
knocked
to
him
say
down.
that Crawford is winning.
Crawford's dominating the fight,
Yeah, he is.
but I think extremely
But when
one-sided.
somebody-
You lot are nuts. If I thump a man like this in the street, I'm going home and telling my gal I had a one-sided
You
fight.
don't thump any man.
I'm just telling you. That's what I'm. That's what you know what I mean.
Well,
Elliot.
that is another Crawford round, though.
Kyle B said 5-1 is extremely one-sided, and
Well-
Elliot Lee said it is one-sided, 45-49 now.
Listen, Nick, I think it's harsh to say that because I think Spence has had a few
Listen, what I would
opportunities.
say-
He's had a few moments in the fight, but I think overall Bud has been the wiser
I
fighter.
think we all
today,
agree.
mate.
Listen, let me be the voice of reason here for a change. I think we all agree that Crawford is winning and winning well. The issue I had with you saying it's extremely one-sided is that you're basically saying that Spence is in there doing nothing.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, but that's how it comes across.
I don't care how it comes across. I said
Well,
what I said.
I don't care what you said. That's how I take
Someone
it.
asked, is it that one-sided? And I said, yeah.
Okay, well, all right.
It was a direct question.
Okay. Yeah, it is pretty one-sided, but when you no, but bro, when you put extremely on it, do you
All
not
right.
think that you're
It's not
adding an extra
extremely.
layer?
It's not extremely
This is
one-sided.
some-
It's very one-sided.
This is some prime
Bloody hell.
fencing.
Do you not
from
know what
Laurie
the
here.
word extremely means?
Brother, if he weren't Jamaican,
No,
you'd
seriously.
be agreeing
Do you
with
know what
me.
extremely means? What does extreme mean?
He's extremely Jamaican in there. That's what I know.
Anyway, back to the fight. And Crawford again. Good shot by
Great
Crawford.
right hand. Knees just buckling a little bit.
I think this fight is.
Oh, here we
Now
go.
this is extremely one-sided. Now.
30 seconds later, thank you. Welcome to the
No,
party.
but I'm listening. I'm watching the fight.
I was watching the fight before. I think if it stays like this at the end of round 8, I think we could see a towel.
I think Derek James is starting to
I think we
how
could
much more.
Yeah,
'Cause his face is mashed up as well.
His face is mashed. The
He's
eyes are
chilling,
starting
man.
to cut.
There's no
The eyes-
towel in
Nah,
the-
his
in the
right
top.
eye is starting to close.
Yeah, but
And,
you got to
and
keep
it's
him
not a
in
mark
there.
on Crawford either.
It's
is
not
it?
a mark
You
on
can't-
Crawford.
you can't drag him
sign
out of a fight
Crawford
of
being-
this
The only
magnitude.
blood on Crawford is from Spence's face.
He still has a shot. I don't think he
Oh,
will.
good shot. Oh,
He's dropped.
Is he
just-
down?
Yeah, he's down. That's it. That's
Oh,
it.
he looks wobbly.
Spence is
Oh,
wobbly.
now he
I
is.
think
This
Derek James
might
is
be
gonna
it.
have
For those of you at home, Spence just landed
is
a
ropes.
clean left hook on Crawford, but Crawford caught him with a counter right, and the counter right sent him to the ground.
I think this is it. This is
This
all
is a
she
10-8
wrote.
round. Could be a 10-7.
This is it, man.
We could see the towel.
He's
I think
wobbling.
this is it. Oh, this is it. This
He's
is it.
got.
could see
He's
the towel.
leaning like Russ.
If I'm Derek James here, I throw in the towel because Spence will keep fighting.
He will.
And
Coming back with
there's
a couple of shots,
He's
but-
not coming back.
No, I said he came
Oh.
back
No,
with
no,
a
no, I'm not
couple of
saying him,
shots,
saying
but
him.
now
Yeah.
he's getting
The referee's
clattered.
looking close. The referee looked to me like a couple more shots there, and he was
No,
going to
fair
stop
play to Spence, though. He's
This is the
still coming
difficulty with
forward,
someone
and
like-
he's taking the center of the ring now. Fair play to him.
I mean, these
but-
fights are where it gets dangerous. If you're not fighting someone who's got one punch knockout power,
Yeah.
you might be better off getting knocked out with one punch rather than taking a sustained beating.
And I think we're seeing Crawford preserve some energy here and not try and.
Crawford, I
just
don't think has
let
hit
it all
third
out.
or fourth gear, in my opinion.
No, that's what I mean. He's preserving his energy. He's
Yeah.
not trying to take unnecessary risks right
Brilliant
now.
boxing by Crawford. He really
Oh,
has.
beautiful.
Not lost a round. Well, maybe the first round.
Yeah, he lost the first round, but after that, I mean, he gave him the first round, really. It looks like he donated that. He
More
gave that one
classy
to
than
charity.
Latimer Private
But
School, this
fair
guy.
play to Spence. I mean, he's taken a bit of a shellacking and he's still coming forward.
Yeah, Spence is a tough guy
He's a
for
warrior,
sure.
bro.
Yeah,
He's a
absolutely,
warrior.
absolutely.
Someone compared it to Don Robbie versus Samir Nasri. I think this is about as
this come
one-sided as that fight would be. To be fair,
That's very. Whoever said that is very funny.
No, but where did that come from? I've heard a few
The
people
bit player.
going on
Because
about
the
that.
video that Robbie's got, we go Sammy Nasri when I see you.
Sammy
Oh,
Nasri.
right. Okay.
Back to this fight.
Have you
Yes,
seen
and-
Sammy Nasri
Judas.
these days?
Yeah,
I reckon
he's
Robbie's got a
bigger than
chance.
me. Yeah.
Well, I think
They're
Robbie
about
had
the
a
same.
chance the whole time. I think Robbie's...
Spence is close to going down again. Every punch,
Sammy
he's dipping his
Nasri
head
is like...
down.
Oh,
Yeah, he's head down
oh!
again. What I say, he's close to going down again, and he goes down again. Come on, this is a
think
10-7
they're-
That was
round.
like a tumbleweed.
I'm going to say this right now.
the
Derek
10-7.
The
James,
Sahara Desert.
Derek James needs to stop this fight, man.
Oh, he's in there like swimwear though.
Derek
Saved by the bell again. Woo-hoo-hoo.
That's a
Derek James needs to stop this fight.
That's a 10-7 round.
I'd be convinced. I would be close to giving that a 10-6. The way
But
that
just to be
knockdown
clear,
happened.
guys at home, apparently it's not extremely one-sided.
Well, the only way this fight's changing now is Spence has to knock him out.
No, it is now.
I'm joking.
It is now.
If Spence doesn't
but
knock
on a
him out, that's
serious note,
GG.
I think Derek James is going to retire him
He
here.
needs to.
He's got to retire him.
look at that
what
shot.
an uppercut.
But look, he gets dropped right here.
But you know what? It's funny that shot there because today when we did our preview show, I was saying that the dangerous punch from Crawford is the uppercut. Look at that.
Beautiful
Oh, look at that.
shot. Gets caught with the left hook, but
And he
he's
actually
already
landed
down.
a punch as well.
Both times
did.
he's been knocked down, he's landed a punch. His balance, because of that first knockdown earlier, his balance is still off. So it's not even taking Bud Crawford landing clean, beautiful punches. In that second knockdown, Spence's punch was harder than Crawford's.
Oh, what a right. And it's one of
Still
those
gets him.
reverberating
Derek James,
falls as well.
come on, Derek James, you need to do your
But he's
job,
coming
bro.
out for round 8. I'm really surprised he's coming out right here.
Mate, fair play to Spence, mate.
No,
Fair
but
play
the
to
thing
him.
is, right, you're taking miles off the clock, bro. Like, this
Yeah,
guy,
but it's not on him to. You can maybe
It
say
is
that
on
for the
him.
coach.
It is on him.
It's not on
No, the
Spence. It's
fighter's
on
never
Derek
going to put
James.
himself. Yeah, you
No, I'm
can.
talking about the Derek James.
Oh
It's on
yeah,
him.
no, I'm saying that's a fair thing to say
Spence,
at this
he
point.
will fight till
but
the
I'm
end.
saying credit to Spence. He's shown a
We
lot
are
of
all
heart
sitting
right now.
here, and maybe we're all going to have egg on our face tomorrow morning. But as of right now, we're all sitting here saying that there is no way Spence wins this fight from this
No
position.
way.
He has
Almost
to,
no
well, he
way.
has to knock him out on the cards.
No, but he's
so
not
far
even hurt
down.
him yet.
No, I'm not saying he will. I'm
And look-
saying that's the only shot he has is knocking him out.
It's just toughness, keeping in toughness.
If he
and heart.
does, it will be
Like Elliot
one of
Lee
the
said,
biggest comeback stories
There's no
ever.
way. There's zero chance of him coming back.
But if he does, it will be the biggest comeback story.
That was a decent
in
shot, but again, he
this
didn't hurt
century of
Crawford.
boxing.
It's
Well, one of them
interesting
is.
that at the end of that round, it looked like Crawford tapped Spence's glove as if to say, well done for getting through the round. No, I think he was showing him respect.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
Yeah.
in a fight of this magnitude, I mean,
It's a bit one-sided though, isn't it?
I wouldn't say so. Do you know what one-sided means?
No, I mean, Spence is trying, man, but
100%.
he's getting beaten up in there, man.
100%.
There's no, and I'm speaking as
I wonder
an
how
Errol
much
Spence fan.
look, he's starting to just show off a little bit with some footwork and some
Crawford, look.
Crawford just starting to
I said
move through
it,
the
I
gears.
called it, I said once Crawford starts coming forward, game over. And that's what you're seeing now. Crawford's on the front foot. Brilliant boxing, man. Seriously, this is like A-level, A+,
Level A plus.
A-star.
Actually, they don't even have
What do
A
they call
stars
it these
anymore.
days?
It's 9.
A-star?
No, 9. They got rid of A star.
Did they?
Well, some subjects do. Most of them, English, maths, whatever, they changed it 1 to
Spence's
9.
legs are not fully underneath him either. You see
That's
that?
why I said he's so easy to knock down. He's still wobbly from that first knockdown. His legs have never really been planted
Equilibrium.
since. The equilibrium's completely off. That shot that knocked him down, the second knockdown, was a temple shot.
Yeah, it was.
It's kind of behind the ear, wasn't it? Oh, we got
A temple run, if you will.
Come on, Derek James. Stop it
Yeah,
now.
He's
the
rocky
crowd
again.
the crowd are saying to the ref, stop it.
Spence is
Terrence.
rocky. Every punch that Crawford lands, Spence is very rocky. Every single one.
Oh. Look at this. Oh, he's coming back, though. Beautiful hook.
He's
Beautiful
come
right
back,
hook.
but it's just a brief reprieve.
Man said he's come back, blood.
I didn't say he's
Man
come
come
back. I
and
said
went
he's
again, blood. He left his keys at home.
coming back.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, couple of jabs.
What kind of Jamaican can't handle the Bud, Laurie, man? Come on, man.
Listen, man, sometimes you just have to hold your hand up when you're beaten by the better man. Doesn't matter where you come from or who you like.
This is very, very reminiscent. I say reminiscent. It was only 3 days ago, but it's very, very similar to the fight that we saw on Tuesday.
No.
You don't think it's similar?
No.
York, I think it's similar.
No.
No.
It's similar insofar as it's one-sided. But I do think that at least Spence is landing some blows. I mean,
It's true. That is true.
Fulton didn't land anything, did he?
This is personal for Derek James, someone said.
And it's
end of
more
round
of a,
8, by the
more
way.
of a
There's
vicious performance by
10-9.
Crawford.
Another 10-9 round.
More of a vicious performance
I'm a bit
by
disappointed
Crawford.
with Derek James. I think you should be pulling your fighter out now, bro. Save Spence from himself. He needs to be saved from himself. The man's got a wife and kids. He's got a career to think about.
I'm sure one of the judges will give it to Spence as well. So the nature of boxing being what it is these days. Split decision. It's be something ridiculous.
Is he going to pull it now?
There's someone in the chat, called saying stuck in hell. Block this guy, man. Man's sitting there saying Spence is terrible, should never box again. He's bro, get my man
Look
out
at his
here,
face, man.
Easy.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Nah, man, that's foolishness.
Some people are just disrespectful, though. aren't
Yeah,
they?
that makes no
That's the
sense,
thing.
man.
Yeah,
Makes no
but
sense.
you know,
That's foolishness.
that's
Bun that.
life.
And that's
C'est la vie.
Bun
That's
that.
always a shame when people.
Well, I
resort
tell
to
you, it's a
such
bit of a
things.
He's just trolling anyway. You can see he's just spamming the group chat.
bit of a disrespectful performance by Crawford, if you will. Disrespectful in
Well,
the fact
fair
that
play
he's
to Spence.
absolutely
He's not-
disrespecting Spence with
Fair
these
play to Spence. Oh, look, he got caught again there.
beautiful
This is just.
sweeping hooks.
4 more rounds, man. We're into the final stretch.
I don't think it should go for
Final
more.
stretch.
That jab is too quick.
The thing is,
man.
Bud's starting to not take his foot off the gas, but he can almost cruise. He doesn't have to go for the knockout. He can just cruise
Yeah,
to this
he can.
victory right now.
But
So-
sometimes in boxing, that's a dangerous thing to do. Because
Well, yeah,
one
because
punch can change a lot of things. He could get
For sure.
cut.
Especially against a guy like Errol Spence.
Now, this is where these rounds, 9 to 12, are traditionally where Errol Spence is very strong, actually. He's known to have a legendary gas tank. He's going to need
He's gonna
it
need
now.
that gas tank to drive home, blood,
But the
because
thing
he's
about it,
mash
he's
up.
been getting hit too clean. It's all right having a gas tank. This is decent. But again, watch Crawford come back.
Yeah, Crawford's chilling.
See that? Look at those jabs. Accurate. And again, look, bad stab to the body there.
That's why I said that I could see him winning, because I said in the Wednesday show that he's just too accurate. He
Yeah.
just doesn't waste any punches, and his defense is so good. Even though he's known as a very good defensive fighter, I still think his defense is underrated.
Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, caught him so clean there with that jab.
Better defense than
Oh.
Harvey Specter.
And the thing, oh, look, come on now.
Oh, he's wobbled him
Come
with a
on.
jab there.
Derek James.
When someone gets wobbled with jabs, that's a sign.
Oh, my
If your fighter
days.
gets wobbled with jabs, you've got to get him out. We're waiting for this guy to get, not literally killed, but we're waiting for this guy to get really brutally knocked out, because he's done. Yeah. It's like in a video game when his health is flashing. His health is flashing red and white.
Oh,
Oh, look.
fair play to him, though. He's going out on a shield in style
He
here.
really is. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
He's giving
This is
every
actually
last
quite
bit of
painful to
heart that he
watch.
has.
Yeah, I mean, real man, you know what I mean? Shout out the man that knew that Crawford was winning this fight, by the way.
Could you
I'm
see,
saying.
oh, look, here we go. Could you see these? Oh, look.
Balance is completely gone.
Referee!
Crawford can smell blood. The ref
That's
stopped
it.
it.
That
stopped
is
it.
all
He stopped
she
it.
It's
runs.
done.
He stopped it.
It is done. It's over.
That
He was
is
just
it.
picking him off, picking him off, picking him off, picking him off, and it's done.
Absolute
that is
About
all
a
she
minute
wrote.
left
masterclass
of
by
about a
Crawford.
minute left of
That
round
is all
9.
she wrote.
9th round stoppage.
Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford. All the man them
All the
that
man
said that
them.
Crawford is going to win. Put the W's in the chat. Put the W's in the chat.
And
for the
who
man.
said Crawford knockout this guy?
Put the W's in the chat, man.
What a performance.
you,
Now,
mate.
that is legendary.
What did I tell you? Terence
I told you,
Crawford
it's an
knockout.
80-20 fight. It's an 80-20 fight. It's never in doubt, lads. It's never in doubt.
Should have trusted me and Nick, huh? The Neeks. The Neeks strike again.
Look at all that. Look at all that. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for
Dubs
everybody.
for
W's
Crawford.
W's everywhere for the man them. Come on, man.
That was an absolute masterclass.
That was crazy. Yes.
Fair play, man.
I got to say,
Well,
after that
I'm gonna
performance,
say
I got to
this.
say, Terence Crawford #2 pound for pound after a
No
new weight.
chance. No chance. Don't even start. This was Errol Spence he did this to, man. You
That's
know what I mean?
crazy.
This is
That's
Errol
Errol
crazy.
Spence is washed, though. He's over the hill.
That's what we're going to hear.
Yeah, that's what you're going to hear. Yeah.
5 years ago, he rattles him. Hey.
Hey,
I
my
want to
man.
say fair play to Errol Spence. though. He
100%.
showed immense heart in that to keep going.
100%.
Immense.
I mean, I know what Errol Spence fans are going to say, because I'm saying it as well. Oh, look, they're dancing. They did say that they wouldn't be dancing after the fight. You remember in the lead up to the fight, Derek James said there's no way. He's got the sisters in there. Wow.
HM said,
Look at Bomac.
HM said,
Bomac.
hold that, Nick and Laurie. I predicted
Nick
Crawford,
and Laurie?
but I predicted Crawford to win. And
So did I.
No, wait, no. Hang on. You went from Spence to Crawford to Spence to Crawford.
I said Crawford would win, right, on points. So I got that wrong because Crawford totally dominated and stopped him. I also said, and I'm not taking back my words, I would have liked to have seen Spence win because of the Jamaican heritage. But then I also said, and I said it quite clearly, Nick will attest to this, I said, it doesn't matter who you want. If somebody's better than you, they're just better than you.
Didn't you say with your son on the show that you thought that Spence was going to win?
I did say that, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a couple of days ago. Yeah. But today...
someone clip that.
No, but today when I was asked, I said Crawford.
And did I or did I not say it's an 80-20 fight and Crawford's going to win weeks ago?
No, he didn't say that.
I didn't say it's an 80-20 fight.
No, he did say it was an
Thank you, James.
I didn't hear that.
Then, boy, you're getting old age and that blood. Because I'm telling you, yeah, I'm saying Specsavers do hearing tests now as well. Because I'm telling you, weeks ago when this fight was first announced, I said Crawford 80-20 fight. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be Crawford. Come on, man.
So what next now for Crawford? I mean, like, because I don't want to see a rematch of this fight, man.
Spence won't even want a rematch. No. Someone punches you up like that, you just got to give him your lunch money and go.
So what does Crawford do from here?
I think he retires.
Does he move up?
I think he should.
He becomes a prime ambassador.
Spence is going to move up, and then Crawford's going to move up with him, and they're going to rematch again at 154.
Look at that! When he gets hit, he comes back. He's so sharp.
Bang.
Bro, look at that.
Yeah, that's nice. It's one that is one of the best boxing performances I've seen.
In boxing, bro.
He is.
I don't know
He's the best finisher in boxing. I'm serious.
You might be right.
Look, he took that punch on the gloves and then look, straight away, the countering. Look at that.
At 35 years of age as well, to be performing like this. He looks so sharp and so quick.
Yeah.
For a man of that age.
Now, let me ask you an honest
Phenomenal.
question here. We've just seen that. You saw Inouye's in the week. Who had the more impressive performance?
Crawford.
Because of the level of opponent, Crawford.
Level of
but
opponent, chalk and cheese.
Inouye's was also, away from level of opponent, Inouye's was a complete dominance from the in this one. To be fair, Spence won round one.
Yeah. In
Inouye's, Fulton didn't even win round one. He just got battered all the way.
One round though, one round.
I know. I'm just saying, but I'm answering the question. I'm just answering the question. But this is more impressive as a performance because the level of competition is higher. Errol Spence.
This is painful to watch.
Errol Spence in Ring Magazine was rated in the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters and has been for the last decade. Do you know what I'm saying? And he still got absolutely brutalized. You know, so it's not that he's washed or he's finished or anything like that.
As well, that since he's come up to what this is this is what I'm saying about people. I had a big argument on the phone today with Shane because he said I don't care what happens tonight. A new age pound. I said, bro, how can you say that? If Crawford wins decisively tonight, not only is he cleaned out junior welterweight, he's cleaned out welterweight as well. He's beaten a pound for pound champion. You know, a guy on the pound for pound listings. With respect, Steve Fulton was not on the pound for pound listings when Inouye beat him. And he's not just beat Spence tonight, he's beat him up and stopped him, knocked him out.
Hey, shout out to Sir Equanimity in the chat.
He's always going to back his Philly brothers, so...
Shout out to Sir Equanimity in the chat. Love for the comment saying, you man need to listen to Nick more. I agree, man. I agree.
Hey. I said it. I actually said he was going to knock him out, so...
You did.
But Shane, funnily enough, who's not here, I'd like to see what he has to say because he was quite confident going for Spence today. He was. And he's meant to be the expert, you know.
Your boy Francisco is back. He said,
Francisco.
This watch-along was entertaining, but not extremely entertaining. And Francisco, do you know the definition of extremely?
No, but you walked that back. When I put it on you, you walked that back.
Because I just wanted to move on. I just wanted to move on.
You walked that back.
I just wanted to move on.
But anyway, in the end, you were right.
Thank you.
But at that time, Spence was throwing punches back. I'd love to know what's been said now. But there's not a scratch on Crawford.
He's even got his prime chain over the WBC belt. I was saying he's been paid a lot of money for that.
And also, like, you're looking at someone with this talent. We're looking at someone with this talent, and I know I don't want to dim the mood. I know it's a topic that James is passionate about. But these promoters, a couple of years ago, Bob Arum saying, "You're not promotable. You're not investable. I'm going to lose money on you. I don't know." This guy's a pound for pound number 1, number 2. You can argue amongst yourselves, but this guy's putting on top performances. If Bob Arum had invested in him a few years ago and we've seen this fight, maybe it's a different result. But if he comes and puts on these types of clinics, how much money can you get back? You've got to back these guys.
You do, but you also have to promote yourself. You can't put all the stock in the promoters. You have to do some sort of stuff yourself outside of the ring to stir up interest. Well, this is it. This is what he's doing with the Prime thing. That's his big game. No, it's true. It's going to get him a lot of viewership online, but he needs the performances inside the ring. Never been a question for Terence Crawford. Never has been a question. I'm saying that's why you need to do a bit more, because he deserves. This deserves to be a 3 million pay-per-view fight.
Are we going to talk about Prime, or are we going to talk?
No, I'm not. What do you mean talk about Prime? I said this deserves to be a 3 million pay-per-view fight. For the quality of fighters on the
said Inoue number one pound for pound, followed by Tank. Okay. Go ahead.
This is why I say that with the pound for pounds, right? I don't like, because people just start being silly now.
Yeah, Tank is crazy.
Why are you putting Tank at number 2? Because he beat Ryan Garcia, who shouldn't even have been in the ring with in the first place. Come on.
Beg to differ.
But yeah, what we got? Spirit thought for who?
Spirit thought for Errol Spence, because I honestly believe that he got the beating of his life tonight, and I'm seriously worried as to how that might impact upon his long-term career. Because I'm going to say this now, yeah? So when you see fighters get beat up like he did tonight, beaten up, dropped several times, and then knocked out, they're never quite the same. Their confidence is never the same. Yeah. Their legs is never the same. And, you know what I mean?
22, a very, very good amateur, 22 professional fights unbeaten, fighting top level. He's got a really good resume. Really, really good resume, Errol Spence. And then to suddenly take a step to that performance today, only he will know if something wasn't quite right in the camp or whatever the case may be. But it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
who sees that coming?
Yeah, exactly.
This is a shock.
I think, to be fair to you, Nick, you said, well, we both said, yeah, I think you copied it from me, actually, when I was talking about the equilibrium shot.
He likes to take credit for everything, him.
Hey, listen, I'm glad you're enjoying your morning, you know. I'm glad you're enjoying your morning.
No, but we both said it. I think I said it first and you jumped on the back, as you often do. But anyway, fair enough. I'm clowning. That equilibrium shot in the second round, that changed the course of the whole fight.
Absolutely.
Because the first round was quite even. You gave it to Spence. I kind of had it even, but I was like, okay. I think Spence landed a decent shot right at the end of that first round, so we gave that first round to Spence. But from that shot landed in the second round, the fight done. You know what I mean? And it was a bit of a beatdown, man. I mean, Errol Spence, I'll give him all the credit in the world. He tried. He was fighting back.
Crawford's the best defensive fighter on the planet. He's got to be the best defensive fighter on the planet.
Him and Shakur Stevenson.
I'm not seeing Shakur do this to anyone.
Well, he's not at that level.
He's the best defensive fighter on the planet, 100%.
What do you think to this? Daniel
the best
Chambers
fighter on the planet, period.
Boots is calling out Bud. Now, that Boots is a hell of a fight, man. I can't see nobody beating Crawford, though, man.
I mean,
I can't see no one beating
Boots
Crawford.
Called out Bud when? Before the fight or now? Right now?
Yeah,
I don't know. Nah, he might. Do you know what he's done? He must have had them apps where you schedule your tweets, because there's no way he watched that fight and thought, yeah, blood, I want some of that.
I think he needs a couple of extra warm-up fights before Crawford. But in a year
this is what
or
I was
so,
asking. What should Crawford do now? Because I'm taking it none of us want to see a rematch. Even at 154.
No. The number one person who doesn't want to see a rematch is Errol Spence. He doesn't want to see a rematch.
No, but I know what Errol Spence and them are going to say about the weight and all that. And I do think he should move up in weight. But I don't want to see that fight again. So who should Crawford fight next?
He can fight Boots.
I reckon he should go up to 154. He's cleaned out welter.
I think he should as well. But the thing is, though, if you know how boxing fans are, if Boots and these up-and-comers have a couple of good wins on their record, they'll say, oh, you know, he's moved up to duck him. You know, he's pretty much cleaned out the division. But if Boots wants it as well, the problem is now Boots as a name maybe doesn't generate the revenue. And we get into that. Crawford becomes maybe the problem that he's had in the past to get in some of these fights. But yeah, you know, if Crawford can go and clean out some of these
Very gracious of Errol Spence, sorry to interrupt,
guys.
Nick, stuck around to do the interview. A lot of fighters, when they get beaten that badly, they go straight out the ring.
Yeah. Listen, Spence is a tough guy.
Callaloo and rice and peas.
Aki and Saltfish.
Aki and Saltfish, But, toughness, I keep saying it, toughness can only take you so far in this game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about skills.
But a good jab will take you around the world. And that's what we saw today.
But he wasn't able to land enough of them today.
Terence Crawford's jab was probably the most decisive factor. And his speed, really. But
Spence's face, man, looks real lumped up. His mouth is bleeding, his eyes bleeding.
And
his
meanwhile,
nose
in the
is bleeding.
background, Bud just looks...
Yeah, he looks
fresh
like...
as daisy.
Yeah.
Sipping on gin and juice.
Only casuals or Jamaicans would have taken Spence. The chat is giving me jokes today, man. You man are killing me, man. Serious.
Spence is apparently saying that his timing was off and that Crawford was the better man.
Of course, he's still got punches landing from last week.
Yeah. Who's
I feel a little bit of empathy for I feel a bit of empathy for Errol Spence because I do like the guy, but I've got to say, man, that I think Derrick James should have stopped that fight earlier.
Look at his face.
So, there was no path to victory.
No.
There was no path to victory.
Because even when he landed clean, he did not hurt Crawford in any way. He didn't mark him up. And, what Andrews, our technical staff was...
He said that he was surprised by the speed and accuracy and that Crawford's timing was on point.
Yeah, his timing was brilliant.
Phenomenal. Like we were saying before, every one shot that Spence was landing, Crawford was replying with 2 or 3 within a matter of milliseconds.
There's
no, he says he wants a rematch.
Of course he wants a rematch.
Come on. I rate it, man. I rate it.
Hopefully that's just bravado.
It probably is just bravado. He's got a bit of adrenaline still in his system.
Listen, I'm sure he's got a good team around him, and they'll say stay well clear of Bud Crawford, man.
You never know.
Primed up.
Stay well
But look,
clear.
I still have to give so much credit to him to stay in there and fight the way he did. He didn't step back once. He didn't cower away. Even till the last second, he went out swinging. He was still pressing the fight. He was still trying to get something out of it.
You're looking at greatness, aren't you?
You are.
With performances like this, Bud smacks up Tim Tszyu. He smacks up Charlo.
Who?
Crawford.
Oh, right. Yeah. He does.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's...
The only way someone's going to beat Crawford is to knock him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
None of them men are going to.
But someone like Tim Tszyu, is Tim Tszyu a better boxer than Terence Crawford? I'm sorry, than Errol Spence.
No, but Tim Tszyu, to be fair, is a big, strong junior middleweight, young, big puncher. So you know what boxing's like, man.
It's funny how he's managed to keep himself going this slick at 35. Obviously, he doesn't fight for that long.
He's always in the gym.
He's always in the gym, but he also doesn't take too many fights. He sometimes takes years between a fight, and you compare that to someone like
he don't drink, he don't nothing.
I know, but you compare that like Canelo's a consummate professional, but you see him in the ring. No, but I'm just drawing a comparison. You see him in the ring every 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah, but you see him in the ring every 4, 5, 6 months, and that's why Canelo at 32 looks a lot older of a fighter than Terence Crawford at 35 because he's had that many more fights.
To Canelo, he's been a pro since he was 16 years old.
Again, yeah, also. That's what I mean by the level of fights that he's had in that amount of time. And the way Crawford's going,
don't compare Bud to anyone in this era.
He's got a cheek, innit? He was telling me this morning, it don't matter what Bud does. In the way he's pound for pound number 1.
Compare Bud to anyone in this era.
I'm going to text him right back. Thought you said it didn't matter.
You and Shane are like 2 peas in a pod the way you change your opinions on a dime.
Yeah, Daniel Chambers said, I think Bud dominates 154. It's just going to be the size difference and the power difference. And that, like Laurie said, that athleticism. Do you know what I mean? Can he carry that athleticism? From the boxing perspective, he dominates 154, 100%. But can he carry that athleticism? He can carry it to Charlo, to Tim Tszyu. We're going to have to see.
I think he beats Charlo, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can take his athleticism and batter Charlo, but can that athleticism to Tim Tszyu?
I think Charlo is going to get battered by Canelo.
I'll give Shane a pass on this one because he's in the arena. He's probably extremely hyped up and gassed, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for him. So I'll give him a bye for that. But you need to come and answer yourself next time you're on air because to say the things you said before the fight and now come around speaking like this.
That's calm. He'll be back soon. He'll be back for Wednesday.
I'll give him a bye.
No, don't give him a bye.
No, because he is in the arena and he's got the crowd around him. He's gassed.
No, but when he's back, what I'm saying? We'll get him in the studio. And like I said, 500 people still here. Listen, smash the like button. I hope you've enjoyed it. We are putting out regular boxing content. We have a weekly boxing show. So make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff and stick around.
Covering some big fights.
There's
Jake
going to be
Paul,
more.
Nate Diaz next week. So make sure you tune in for that one.
There's going to be more. There's going to be more.
Do you think if Jake Paul beats Nate Diaz, he leaps above Crawford?
Yeah, he goes pound for pound number one. Yeah.
That is going to be the most one-sided beatdown I've ever seen him. Have you seen Nate Diaz on the pad?
Manny in the chat has asked, what weight class is Canelo? It's a great question, Manny. What weight class is Canelo? Who knows? Who actually knows?
Canelo is created.
The pound for pound weight class is what he is.
Duck weight.
Yeah, duck weight. He flyweight.
I wouldn't mind seeing Crawford versus Canelo.
Yeah.
Nah, Canelo's too big for him.
Crawford Canelo.
I think Canelo's too big.
Well, I'll tell you what. People in the comments, what do you think? I mean, if he's going to fight Jamel Charlo.
If it's the same Canelo that fought John Ryder, then yeah, Crawford probably beats him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
KR says, my man lost. I'm gutted. I'll take my hat off to Bud. Yeah, listen, bro. Sometimes, as I said, I wanted Spence to win because of the heritage. However, he was well beaten tonight. And let's face it, like Fulton the other day, he was beaten by a great fighter, a generational talent. So it is what it is. And Shane, he's now said, bro, F what I said. I also say I couldn't see a one-sided fight, and I was wrong. Let's click
screenshot. Let's screenshot.
Shane has admitted that he was wrong. You don't often get that.
Yeah, you don't.
Because this morning, James, me and him got into quite a heated argument.
Yeah.
Because I was saying to him, yeah, yet another one. I kept saying to him, look, how can you? Because he go, I don't care what Bud, the outcome of Spence Crawford is tonight. In no way, after what he did to Fulton, he's pound for pound number one, 4-weight world champion. I said, listen, bro, how can you say that when this fight's not taking place? If one of the other goes in there tonight and has a masterclass performance, surely you've got to revisit how you think about. But no. And now look.
We do have a
I've
super
only
chat.
had that phone call recorded.
We do have a super chat from Himanshu Yadav. Thank you for the super chat.
Big up Himanshu as well. He's
guys, Crawford versus a prime Triple G at 154.
Crawford.
Who wins? I mean, obviously, we're high off just watching this performance. I do feel that Spence...
When has Triple G ever cleaned out a division? This man's cleaned out two divisions.
I think a better question would be prime Crawford or prime Canelo.
Crawford, bro.
I do agree with you. I think that's
Who has Crawford ever ducked? Canelo spent half his career ducking.
No, you can't dispute Canelo.
Canelo in his prime. Canelo in his prime.
I can dispute
Canelo in his prime is interesting, but no, for Triple G, I think Triple G is very aggressive and not defensive enough. I think
Triple G's got
Crawford,
great power.
Crawford,
in terms of boxing, it's night and day. Yeah, he had great power and he had a great chin, but Crawford showed a good chin tonight.
Yeah. Prime Canelo.
Who has Crawford ever ducked?
Prime Crawford.
Prime Canelo.
Who has Crawford ever ducked?
No, I'm not saying he's
Errol
ducked
Spence's
people, but
punches today, mate.
I'm gonna go out there and say this, right?
Yeah.
You lot might clown on me, but I'd like to see. Let's talk about a prime Crawford versus a prime Mayweather.
No.
Why not?
No, not Mayweather.
Why not?
No,
Why
Mayweather.
not?
Mayweather, no.
Why?
No one compares to Mayweather. You're talking about...
Has Mayweather ever cleaned out two weight classes?
Mayweather is...
No, serious, James. Has Mayweather ever cleaned out two weight classes?
To do what he did for that long, biggest
he's
sport,
a great
defeating
fighter.
Everyone.
But this man...
Not even close. The closest he looked to getting wobbled. One fight in his entire career.
Someone's saying here, James out. Oh, it's just Josh again. So he says everyone out.
Cheers, mate.
Listen, man.
KR says Mayweather gets beat by Bud.
Listen, that is a conversation.
It's a really interesting one. Who engages?
If Marcus Maidana can run Mayweather quite close, why can't Bud?
I mean, that was a freakish
matter.
performance by Maidana. Maidana never looked that good ever again. That was a one-off freakish performance.
It was, and guess what?
Stars make fights.
He can drive him close, but he's not beating
Daniel Chambers said Prime Bud versus Prime Khan.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I don't think there's ever a day in his life where Amir Khan beats Bud Crawford.
No, let's talk about Bud versus Mayweather. I think it's close.
I thought you were going to say Khan versus Mayweather for a second there.
Khan wanted that
No,
fight
but
for
no,
years.
what do you mean? Bud versus Canelo is actually a debate you can have. Bud versus Mayweather is not a debate
me,
you
it's
can
not
have.
even-
I think Prime Canelo arguably actually beats Prime Crawford.
And I know some of the people are going to come at me, right? I think
Someone said, "What is a prime Khan?" Great question.
Seeing him now.
Bud Crawford versus Canelo, it's not even close, bro.
I would say that Bud Crawford at this
Sorry.
moment in time looks more of a complete fighter than Mayweather, but Mayweather's defense was unbelievable. But I think what do you mean? Mayweather did not have finishing instincts the way that Terence Crawford does.
True. Mind you, if you saw him against Arturo Gatti,
Early on in his career, though.
early on
in
where
his career.
the Mayweather of 130 to 140 pounds.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal Mayweather.
Yeah.
But I know
thing,
it's all
man.
hypothetical and it's sort of
Prime Mayweather versus Prime. I don't know.
Prime
What
Mayweather
about
versus
prime,
anyone
I'll tell
he
you,
wins.
I'll tell you, Prime Nick Francis versus a Prime James Stewart.
Oh, that's not even a question, mate. Come on. This guy.
I'm undefeated in boxing, to be fair.
Yeah, 0-0. 0-0, mate. Right, come on. Let's not be
And not only
silly.
that, my man's sponsored by Prime, and you've seen
Damn
what,
right.
Himanshu in the
Sponsored by
chat.
Bud.
you
Budweiser
see
as
what
well.
happens when a fighter's sponsored by Prime.
Exactly, there you go.
Himanshu
I'm
in the
not
chat.
actually, for legal
A regular,
purposes,
a
I'm not
DR
sponsored
Sports
by
Boxing
Prime.
regular said
I
Nick
am the
smokes
champion.
James. Nick
Mate,
smokes James.
Are you kidding me? He couldn't smoke one of those Cuban cigars that I have in my garden,
Check my
mate.
Instagram. I was smoking cigars last week at
Yeah.
pool party.
Well,
Regular
clearly
schmegular.
not, mate. Not
Right,
when it
okay,
comes to
what's
me.
next for Errol Spence? Apart from
If he's struggling
a
to make
long
weight,
time off.
if he's struggling to make weight, maybe he looks at 154.
Oh,
But he's got.
he said
but he's-
before. He said before this fight, regardless of what happens, win, lose or draw,
He has
he's moving
to.
up.
And HT said Nick smokes James as well. Love guys.
These guys are come on.
But yeah, no, I think he's just got to see how he recovers because obviously he's had the.
I'm worried for him.
He's had the big car crash.
I'm worried.
I know
for
he's
him.
come back since then and won fights, and he did look good. And then he's had this, and 154 is not the toughest division, but there's some good fighters there.
man.
There's some really good fighters there. So
In fact,
it won't be easy.
Brian Castano, who fought Jamel Charlo 2 fights, one of them was very close. Jamel Charlo, to be fair, iced him in the rematch. He beat Errol Spence in the amateurs
Yeah.
twice, apparently.
So he's got to think about it.
Once, maybe even twice.
I say equanimity in the chat. Love,
Yeah,
bro.
you're
So
just going to read all of these out, aren't you, mate? You're gonna
James
read
gets
all the-
deleted.
Mate, I
finally.
would just kick you in the face and it would be game over.
He said it
brother.
was a boxing match.
No, he said a fight. He
Okay.
said a
I
fight.
think the first thing Errol Spence needs to do is take a long rest,
Yeah.
right?
Because he'll never be the same.
Yeah, and I was going to say, move up to 154. And even 154, don't dive straight in at the top, bro. Have a couple of fights to get used to the weight. You get used to getting hit by, let's face it, bigger, stronger men. And I've got to admit, man, and I'm speaking as a fan, as a man who cares for the guy, I'm worried for him because knowing what I know about boxing and neurological conditions, right, the beating that he took tonight is the worst type of beating.
Yeah.
They always say in boxing, it's best to get bang, ice,
Yeah.
bang, out cold. Like what happened to Manny against Marquez.
Yeah.
You can come back from those. The ones that are more difficult to come back from is a sustained beating. That is why myself and Nick, I know you were saying let him stay in there, but after about 6 rounds, I was saying Derek James needs to look at this, bro, because he was getting caught with every shot and his legs were doing a little wobble several times.
And
That
you
is
have to
not a
remember
good
as well,
look.
in that fight, the beating that he just took for 8.5 rounds, 80-90% of those punches are to the head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In UFC, MMA, more lethal, more, you can make those arguments. A lot of the shots are to the body, a lot of shots to the legs, submissions. All of these hits that we saw tonight for 30-odd minutes
It was
are
a
just headshots.
clinical...
Getting punched in the head
That's
for 30
why there's
minutes
a lot
non-stop.
more problems with CTE and brain damage
Yeah.
in boxing than there is actually in MMA.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
100%.
right.
Especially because in MMA, like you say, you get ground and pounded a lot of the time, bang, the fight's done. In
And
this,
not only
he
that
gets
as well,
knocked down and he's straight back up.
At welterweight, the
Whooped
gloves
again.
are still 8-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
It's not until you go to 154 that you move up to 10 ounce.
That's a really good point, yeah.
And so, boy, speaking as a man that's been in there and taken some heavy shots myself, it's not a nice feeling. He will be waking up tomorrow, bruised all over, battered, cut, head throbbing, he's going to need a lot of TLC from the people around him, man.
Yeah.
It's a bad beating. Seriously, I'm not even. No cap. Well, we like to have a laugh and a joke on the show, but I'm actually worried about Spence.
I mean,
because,
we
as Nick was saying, you've got to factor into that the car crash as well.
Yeah.
That was traumatic. Now this.
You can come back. I mean,
He can come
if
back,
we look
but
at,
he needs to be watched.
Look at Deontay Wilder, for example, and the absolute beating that
good
he took
point.
in the second fight. Came back in the third fight against Fury.
You know what?
Took a
We've
beating
waited
again,
3
but
hours for you to make
managed
a
to
good
keep
point.
it going.
He's just made one.
Ah, come on. That's uncalled for, mate.
No, but you
I'm
are right
already
about
getting
Wilder.
violated. I'm getting told I'm going to be sleeping in recovery position. I'm going to get deleted.
You know what? You make a very good point. Wilder was never the after that second fight.
No, but I mean, no, I'm
got
saying I'm
Fury
saying the
smashed
opposite
him.
of that. On the contrary, I'm saying he got absolutely smashed in the second fight, and then
And
the
the third.
fight he performed the best out he did out
Nah,
of
man,
the entire
he got
trilogy.
Battered, bro. He got battered.
No,
He's not
the third
same.
fight he knocked Fury down twice in the
Yeah,
third
but
fight.
that was just fleeting success.
No, but I'm saying, as in, he still came back and he improved compared to the second
I tell
fight
you
after
I tell you
taking the
right
beating
now-
of a lifetime.
I'll tell you right now, if Wilder goes in there with somebody half decent, that's going to happen again. The only way Wilder... See, the thing about Wilder
AJ?
is... I think AJ could beat Wilder. I've
Oh,
said
he
it all
will beat
along.
Wilder.
Yeah,
No
it's
question
a 50-50 fight.
It's a 50-50, but what I'm
It's
saying
an
is...
80-20 fight. as
the,
a wise
the
man
damage
would
that
say.
he took from Tyson Fury, and don't forget Tyson Fury is a big dude, 6'9". Again, 10-ounce gloves for a man that size, battering you round after
Oh,
round,
absolutely, yeah.
slumping you face first.
He was never the same. He was never the same.
Licking your
You'll never
blood
be the
off
same.
your neck.
It's impossible. You cannot be the same.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. But I'm saying he's still
And that's why in the
somewhat
second
improved.
fight, every time Fury even touched Wilder, he wobbled him. Every single time. Now, yes, you will say to me, yeah, look what Wilder did to Elenius, but that was one punch power manifested itself. I'm telling you now, if he's in a dogfight, he'll probably going to lose.
I think it will be 5 to 10 years down the road. That's when you start seeing the effect of those kind of fights.
It can
It's
come
not
out- you know,
always
it can-
necessarily.
it can
It can come
manifest-
back. It can come back. Usually, if you're talking about the next performance, if you do take a brutal one-shot knockout and you're completely lights are shut off, sometimes your brain can easily go straight back into that position, like within a future fight when you take a big
Look
shot.
at some of the fights.
Joe
coming up.
Joyce. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to have CTE probably in 5 to 10 years. Joe Joyce is
Could have it now for
top
all
of
we
the
know.
list. Oh, again, after the beating he took by Zhang in the first
Yeah.
fight. But I think those kind of things will
What's
take
your
5 to
prediction
10
for
years,
Dubois,
and you're done.
Usyk?
Easy win for Usyk. Possibly even a late stoppage.
I think if you put Caroline Dubois in there, it'd be a different story. But Daniel Dubois,
He's so
I think is going to get.
disrespectful, this guy.
No, I'm not. I think she would knock Usyk out, but I think she would. Seriously, she is a phenomenal boxer, but no, I think Usyk will clean him out.
Yeah, I think so.
And Zhang
yeah.
Joyce.
Zhang Joyce.
I think Zhang wins again.
Yeah,
I think Zhang will be rejoicing in victory.
See, the thing, even with that one, Joe Joyce took a lot
Tough
of
crowd.
punishment in that fight, man.
Tough crowd.
A lot. And Zhang hits hard. But one thing I would say about that
Big
fight,
bang.
I still think that there is a window of opportunity for Joe Joyce because I still have the belief that Zhang has a very suspect gas tank. And I think if Joe Joyce can shell up, take it into 7-8 rounds, but you'll probably be behind on points because, Zhang is the better boxer. We all know that by now. I think that Joyce could walk him down and stop him late.
You said if Joe Joyce can shell up.
Yeah, shell up.
The problem is he can't. So this whole thing's because if he could, he'd be in a totally different position.
No, but I think
he's never been able to do that his whole
I know,
career.
but I think that in the first fight, let's be honest, we all thought that he was going to beat Zhang.
Apart from James.
Yeah, apart from this man, okay?
Did he?
Which is why...
Did you get that one
You're
right?
damn right, I got it right. I said he was going to knock Joe Joyce out.
It's the only one he's got right, so
if
he's
you do
banged on
have
about
some
it.
of this, and you do want to predict along for future fights, listen
So what
to
was
the
your
champ,
prediction for
okay?
the Ryan
I
Garcia
predicted-
fight?
I predicted this fight. I said Crawford was going to knock him out. He knocked him out. I said Joe Joyce was going to get knocked out by Big Bang Zhang.
Yeah, but you
and he
always
knocked
predict
him out.
knockouts.
I get these things right. Oi, call me Mystic Mac. 'cause I
You
predict
predicted
these
Katie Taylor
things,
against
yeah?
Chantel Cameron.
You guys waffling,
You
man.
predicted
I
Ryan
didn't- I
Garcia
didn't
against
predict that
Tank.
fight.
That was your
I didn't
worst
watch that
prediction,
fight.
actually. Predicted.
We're all
the
allowed
worst.
enough day. Collector's
He didn't
item.
just predict that Ryan Garcia would win. He said Ryan Garcia was going to knock Tank out.
Knock Tank out.
which we all laughed at.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It was all banter, lads. It was all
Look
banter.
at those punches. We're watching it back there.
Yeah.
I've got to call out Derek James, man. I like Derek James. He's a great coach, but I think.
But he's no James Toon.
I do want to hear his interviews afterwards because I'm curious to understand what his thought process was. Do you know what I mean? I'm curious to see.
Breaking news.
Go on.
Purio got knocked out by Gaethje.
Yep.
Why did you say that? I wanted to watch it when I got home, man.
You didn't tell us. You didn't tell
I
us.
specifically left the chat so I wouldn't hear it. That's why I haven't been reading the chat.
Mind you, you're not surprised about it, are you?
Yes, of course
No,
I'm
you're not.
surprised by that.
Gaethje's one of the biggest punchers in the UFC.
Why'd you say... Oh, man.
Why didn't you tell us?
Yeah, you never told us. Otherwise, I
Oh,
would
well,
have
of
kept it
course I
quiet.
didn't. Of course, why would I want to know the... I got the
we're
bloody
doing a sports
Money
stream,
in the
right?
Bank. I got the Roman Reigns fight spoiled in the chat, and I got the UFC fight. Oh.
Apparently, it was another
Beautiful head
headshot dead.
Oh, well, let's... come on.
Headshot
Why you
dead.
don't ruin it
Headshot
even
dead.
more. Don't ruin it even more, man. I want to watch that.
Oh,
fight.
Sean in the chat didn't want to hear it either. Oh, he said he trusted
Sorry,
you.
bro. Sorry.
Oh.
Spoiler, so you should have.
But that's not a surprise, though. I would have had my money
What,
on
that
Gaethje
Gaethje
to
beat
win.
Poirier?
Yeah, definitely.
No, not necessarily, mate.
No,
Not
man.
after Gaethje's last defeat, and not after the way that Poirier dealt with Conor McGregor.
Apparently, it was another Leon Edwards headshot dead.
Another Leon Edwards head kick. Well, look, man, Justin Gaethje was someone I thought was over the hill until he actually fought on Leon Edwards' undercard against Kamaru Usman against Vaseyev, and I thought that was going to be the last chance hurrah for Justin Gaethje. Really, he looked someone to me that I thought was kind of over the hill. Obviously, he had his shot. He lost against, oh my God, my name, Brazilian guy. You know, I think I've got CTE, when it comes to names.
Pound for pound,
But
UFC.
he lost the
Who's
fight,
the best
and,
pound for pound fighter currently?
And I thought he
in
was
the
over, but
John
it's
Jones?
phenomenal performance. Pound for
Someone
pound,
said
you can't say
that's-
John Jones is pound for pound.
No, I'm asking you.
Pound for pound king, Mac Daddy, Conor McGregor. If you're talking...
Someone in the chat said that's James's karma for thinking he can fight.
If I had, listen, I could have predicted that so much.
Look, he was the first 2-weight world champion in UFC history.
What, right now? He's pound for pound.
Okay, pound for pound king right now in the UFC, Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, I've heard a few people. What about John
Volkanovski
Jones,
easily, and he should have got that victory. At
What about John
155, I think
Jones?
he should go back to the belt. John Jones is someone who is a phenomenal fighter, but at light heavyweight, he always had the size and reach above every single person. He should have gone up to heavyweight
Yeah, so did
5 to
Tyson
10
Fury.
years
I
ago.
don't hear you saying that.
Tyson Fury's not fighting light heavyweight; he's fighting heavyweight.
No, but he's always got the size
but he
advantage
could have
over
gone
Fury.
up. He could have gone up and fought at heavyweight a plethora of times in his career,
Yeah,
but
but
he
he
stayed
did.
at light
He's
heavyweight,
at
where he
heavyweight
had it
now.
a lot easier. When he fought Daniel Cormier, he made Cormier come down from heavyweight to light heavyweight to fight him. He should have done it there. I think John Jones is the greatest of all time. I do agree. Pound for pound, I think Volkanovski, and the way that he went up to 155, got robbed.
No, but that don't make sense. How can you have John
Against
Jones, the
Islam
greatest of all
Makhachev?
time? He's still active, but yet you got Volkanovski pound for pound. That don't make no sense.
What do you mean?
If you're saying that John Jones is the greatest of all time,
Because he hasn't done
hang on.
anything in heavyweight yet.
No, but he's active.
Yeah.
He just beat Cyril Gane at heavyweight.
Yes, but that Cyril Gane fight was the biggest gimme fight I've ever seen in my career.
No,
Cyril
maybe it's
Gane
'cause he
has
made it look easy.
Cyril Gane has no wrestling. He doesn't even have a jiu-jitsu black belt. He is a great kickboxer, Cyril Gane, but he was never going to be a trouble for John Jones. John Jones just got him down within a minute and mauled him. Phenomenal performance, yes, but Cyril Gane is not the be-all and end-all. If he manages to go through Tom Aspinall, if he manages to go through Ngannou if they ever fight, then I would say, yes, pound for pound king. I still have John Jones as the greatest of all time, but he needs to do more at heavyweight to be ahead
Pound
of
for
Volkanovski
pound,
for me.
UFC.
I don't watch UFC. I have no idea.
Oh, okay, because
But-
I'm going with John Jones.
John Jones is fair enough, and I
it's
want to
not
see.
because
I want to
he's
see.
black.
I think the Brit, our guy,
The Jamaican
English
somewhere in the
guy-
territory.
It's not because he's black.
But hang on.
You said yourself he's the greatest of all time.
Hang on. Isn't John Jones?
Actually, he's
is
a
John
drug
Jones
street.
a drug street?
Yeah,
He
actually,
is a drug
that
street.
goes against
Yeah,
your
so you
thing.
can't
You
pick
are
him.
someone about, and
Yeah,
he's
actually, yeah,
he's
you're
tested
right,
positive
you're
for
right,
drugs
yeah,
3
you're
times.
right, yeah, you're right.
Volkanovski never has.
Yeah, okay, Volkanovski then.
Someone said, did Islam beat
Neither-
Volkan?
Huh?
Did Islam beat
Islam Makhachev. He came up and he fought Islam Makhachev.
Actually, he's the greatest ever.
out of his
Khabib,
weight class.
So why not?
No way Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Undefeated.
Why not Islam then?
No, Why not Islam?
If he's beating the guy that you're saying.
Because Islam Makhachev's a weight class ahead of Volkanovski. Volkanovski is a much smaller man. He had to force himself. Islam Makhachev drains himself down to get to 155. Volkanovski had to triple stack his meals to get up there. And I thought he won the fight. It was a very closely contested fight.
I don't know. I just
the dominance that he's had at 145 pound.
All right, we're moving on now. There is a big fight. Well,
you did ruin that fight. I still can't believe that, man.
Okay, sorry about that.
No,
but there is a fight next week that we need to talk about. We're probably going to be covering. Yeah,
Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, baby.
I hesitate to call it a fight because it's a complete mismatch.
Biggest fight since Spence Crawford.
An exhibition. It's an exhibition.
To me, that fight is as farcical as Fury and Garner.
Yeah,
because Nate Diaz, I don't know if you saw footage of him on the pads the other day. Seriously.
He's a great Western boxer. He is a great Western style boxer.
He's just tough. He's just going to get beat up. He's just a sacrificial lamb.
I think you're being a bit disingenuous. But the thing is, he's a lot lighter.
He's not going to win, is he? Come on.
No.
He's a smaller man.
Not after the way I've seen him.
He must be giving
recently.
away about a stone as well. He's so much smaller.
Even in that last Ferguson fight, which he won, he doesn't look like the same fighter. I think Leon
And I've heard a
Edwards
couple
was
of
his last
interviews
chance
for him,
roll,
man. And I would say that there's a bit of neurological damage here as well.
Who?
Nate Diaz.
No, that's
slurring
just
his words.
That's the way he's always been. That's the way he's always spoken. Even when you go back to before he even made his UFC debut, he's always spoken like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
don't get me wrong, man. He's legendary tough.
He is.
And
That's what he is. And he probably does have some sort of brain damage because of the fact that he is, again, one of those fighters like Joe Joyce who will just tank shots for days.
I remember when he fought Leon Edwards, he was getting bruck up.
Yeah. Or even when he fought McGregor the 2 times.
And then he landed that big shot on Leon and nearly took him out.
Yeah, 5th round. But he landed the big shot and then he just stood there and smiled at him and he kind of flipped him off instead of actually
That's because he didn't have the gas tank.
Kind of, yeah, and he's just that kind of guy. I love Nate Diaz, but unfortunately, he's too small.
He will get smoked next week.
Too small. Jake Paul, again,
it's
is
quite a cynical
way
exercise
smaller than
by
him.
Nate Diaz, by Jake Paul, actually.
It is, yeah. He's gone for a guy a lot smaller than him. It's a big name.
I mean, I thought he was supposed to be pursuing a boxing career. Since he got beat by Tommy Fury, he's not. He's gone back to the old stuff, isn't it?
Let's not forget, he was trying to do semen retention and he had a wet dream. So
right, okay, we've only got a few minutes left. Let's get back to boxing. I mean, real boxing now, because that fight next week.
We're not going to do that next week, right?
Yeah, we probably will. It's a bit of a joke thing now.
Come on.
No, that's my personal opinion. You're the man. It's great to have you here because you know your stuff. But for me, Nate Diaz doesn't belong anywhere near a boxing ring, and I think you'll find that out next week.
I don't even mind the influence of boxing.
When he gets sparked.
I don't mind the influence of boxing so long as it's competitive. And
Charles Oliveira's name is thinking about
this fight next week is not going to be competitive. Diaz looks awful.
He does. Right, okay, let's pull it back to tonight. I'm going to start by saying I think tonight, if you didn't know before, you know now. Terence Crawford is a great fighter, a generational talent, a man now that has created history. He's cleaned out 2 divisions in the modern era, the first person to do so. On that performance tonight against an opponent as worthy as Errol Spence, who, let's face it, he dominated, beat up, dropped several times and then knocked him out, stopped him. To me, that elevates him to pound for pound number 1. To me, there is no argument. Inoue is a great fighter. Absolutely, he's in the pound for pound discussion. But for me, it's Terence Crawford all day long. Great performance. Great win. I'm kind of wondering what he should do next. I think he should go up in weight because he's cleaned out welterweight now. Yes, you could say him versus Boots would be a good fight, but does he even need that? To me, in order for him to challenge himself, I think he should go to 154. I think Spence, as I said before, very humbling loss for him. I worry for Errol Spence because he got beat up badly tonight. He got dropped several times. His equilibrium looked off. I'm sure the weight has a little bit to do with it, but even so, that was a bad beating. He needs to take some time out of the sport. If he is going to continue, he needs to move up to 154. But even at 154, I would be very careful of who they put him in with next, because if they put him in with anybody too good, it might be a bad decision. Mm-hmm. Nick, the voice of reason, the man, you got it. Did you get it right? Did you say stoppage?
Right. No. I don't know. I don't think
you said
he was extremely
I think I said
It's
decision. But
extremely,
yeah, I knew Crawford was going to win. It's easy.
You was extremely correct.
Yeah, it was extremely correct. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the thing with the 154 thing for Spence is that
No, first of all, your
the reaction to the fight.
To the fight.
We're in rarefied air. You know, it's so easy. I know we look back on.
Yeah, we're in North London. Yeah.
We're in. I know we look back on Floyd. We look back on all these fighters of the past, but we've got Inoue, we've got Crawford, we've got Usyk. We're in such a amazing era of boxing. We have to really appreciate it. A bit like the Messi and Ronaldo thing. You know, people don't necessarily appreciate it because there's that rivalry.
That's a very good thing. Yeah.
You know, we're in this amazing era of boxing.
Facts.
I did have Inoue number one because of what I saw, and I couldn't put Crawford number one until I saw the fight. Now I've seen the fight. He's got to slide in there, and this is what happens with boxing. Do you know what I mean? Because you know you've got these amazing performances, and things can change. At 154, yeah, he should definitely move up. There's you know, he could be free welter world champion. He can definitely clear that division. It'll be competitive because he's getting a little bit older. In terms of Spence, I mean, the key attribute, if you're looking at boxing attributes, the key attribute where Bud was way better than Spence tonight, two areas. One was defense, amazing, like insane. You know, Spence didn't have much of a defense, and Crawford's defense was I dare say Mayweather-esque. The other was speed. Way quicker. Yes, he's got a longer reach, but he was way quicker. At 154, Spencer's going to slow down. He's going to put on more weight. He's not going to be as quick. And, you know, obviously Bud will do the same, but that'll be more problems for him. He's going to be even slower, and he looks pretty slow. You know, that was probably the biggest surprise for me and probably for himself. And he even said it in the post-fight that, you know, he was really surprised by Bud Crawford's speed, and you know, I think goes up to
speed, accuracy, power, everything.
All of that.
And let's. Sorry to interrupt.
Go on.
But I think it's important to make this distinction that since Crawford moved up to welterweight, he stopped everybody.
Yeah.
Stopped everyone.
That's what you call cleaning out a division.
Yeah.
He hasn't beaten everybody.
That is the archetypal cleaning out a division.
He's knocked out everybody in that division.
Everybody he's fought, including some guys that have never been stopped before. He stopped them.
Yeah.
Sean Porter, Errol Spence. You know what I mean?
He's a generational talent, for sure. For sure. So, you know, he's got to take that step up. For Spence, he's got to take a real hard think about whether he continues with his boxing career. Not because he's finished or over the hill, but it's the risk versus the reward. The car crash, then these types of performances. And not
but we all know he will continue.
Not the performance from his perspective, but for what he's up against. Can he physically, neurologically keep going up against this type of stuff? I know this is a one-off. Maybe he's got to have a long recovery and go in with someone a little bit lower down the trough and go from there and see how his confidence goes. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But I do want to see Crawford go and take a step up and get in with people that are. I think Spence is bigger than him, but keep pushing himself to go in.
The only thing I would say about Crawford, I mean, you're going up to light middleweight. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has been done. When Manny Pacquiao went up to junior middleweight. Pernell Whitaker went up to. Did he go up to
middleweight? Junior
middleweight, or he started off as a lightweight. He went up through the weights. But listen, it's been done before.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jermell Charlo is preoccupied at the moment with Canelo. I don't think he'll beat Canelo, to be honest. I think Canelo will be too big for him. And then
we could be on a collision course for a Crawford-Canelo.
Yeah, and those two don't like each other, do they?
Crawford and Canelo.
Crawford and Canelo.
No, Crawford and Charlo.
Yeah, Canelo actually just tweeted out saying, "Congrats, you are a F-wording great fighter, well deserved." And said that he likes Spence, but Crawford too good. And unfortunately, if they face off, I do think Canelo will just be too good for Crawford. But it's an interesting fight.
If Canelo watched that fight tonight and thinks
legendary sidetrack.
If Canelo watched that,
surprised if you find a way of bringing Conor McGregor.
If Canelo watched that fight and thinks, "Wow, you're an amazing fighter," that can only mean one thing.
No,
he's never going to fight him. So you know that's that's the end of that. Over to James.
Yeah, over to James. I always enjoy hearing what James has to say. Don't always agree with him, but he does make some very good points.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right, so what was your assessment of tonight's performance by Terence Crawford?
Absolute masterclass from start to finish. As I said, the first round, Spence needed to start off strong and he needed to earn his respect. he started off strong. He started off quick. I gave him the first round. He took center of the ring. And even the first half of the second round, I thought he was dominating a lot of that, but never earned the respect. And then within a flash, Crawford stepped back,
bang,
overhand left, or not really an overhand left, jab with the right, straight hand left, bang. That was it. Game completely changed from that point. And every single time after that, that Spence tried to get close and he landed one shot, Crawford would respond with 2 or 3. His reflexes, his speed, for his age, I said coming into this fight, I thought at 35 years of age, I thought, as you get older, the first thing that starts to go is your reflexes, it is your speed. And I looked at Canelo as a case in point of that, being 32 years of age, but maybe because Crawford started off later in his career, maybe because he's preserved himself by only fighting once a year and he's always in the gym, maybe that's something to do with it. But the impressive nature of how he dominated that fight, the biggest fight of his career, it is like the pressure that was on him at this moment can't be understated as well. And to pull out a performance like that when you need it most, there wasn't really a second in that fight where it looked like he was in any danger at all.
No, you're right.
Ever since he landed that first knockdown, it was just a matter of time. And I think I still struggle to put him over Usyk for the reasons I said before, but definitely I think he's... What kind of questions that?
Okay.
But no, I think he is head and shoulders above the rest behind Usyk, though, pound for pound wise.
Okay, thanks, James. Right, I'll take it on from here. I won't be too long. I'm not going to go over what I said before. Great performance, though. Thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. I know it's been a long night or early hours in the morning. We appreciate it so much. Had a lot of people in the chat. It's great to engage with you all. Listen, keep it locked and loaded on DR Sports, in particular DR Boxing. We've got plenty of shows coming up. We'll have a midweek show. We'll be talking about this fight and the fast next week. I'm sure James will have plenty to say. But listen, it's been a real pleasure having you guys along. Thanks to my man Nick. Let's give him a round of applause.
Woo!
Voice of reason.
Mr. 80-20.
Yeah, the Mr. Extremely.
80-20 vision. That's what I'm going to call him from now on.
Mr. Extremely 80-20. And thanks also to James. And last not least by myself.
And thanks to you as well for hosting the show. Thanks to Laurie. Big up Laurie. Woo!
But most of all, thanks to you guys for tuning in and supporting. Like, share, subscribe. Keep it locked and loaded on DR Sports Boxing. Also, hit the notification bell for more content from this channel. We are out. We will see you in the week. Take care. Thank you very much.
Never in doubt.